Like, yeah, it's two teams that are going to play each other, and much like the Tavares thing, these wounds eventually do heal.
Well, the Erik Karlsson Bowl, that first-round pick, fifth overall from San Jose, gave the Ottawa Jake Sanderson, who looks like he could be the heir apparent maybe to Karlsson down the road. But, yeah, it's funny. Anyway, whatever. The story off the ice kind of lost legs, which I'm glad it did. There was just kind of an unsavory story and allegations about a teammate and a teammate's partner, and it just seemed to lose legs.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot about that. And you mentioned a little later this week there's going to be a lot of games on the eve of U.S. Thanksgiving, some odd game times for you. So just letting everybody know, Friday, the Erik Karlsson story, I completely forgot about the very odd twists and turns at the end there. Just speaking of the player and what he's kind of becoming again this year, it's incredible to see the renaissance, for lack of a better term. I don't really know how to do it. We were so wowed at how he looked in that game against the Leafs, where the Leafs looked dreadful, quite frankly. It's amazing to see Karlsson back, after all the injuries he had at the end of his Ottawa run. I was wondering if we'd ever see this version of the player again.
Well, and 4 years after this year at $11.5 million, so all of a sudden it gets the fans excited about trades, but can a trade realistically be done? Well, that remains to be seen. Obviously, San Jose would have to eat a pretty good chunk of his contract.
Yeah, they certainly would, but enough talk about eating contracts. Let's talk about the Leafs and the Islanders. We will continue to get you set for puck drop. Leafs home tonight at Scotiabank Arena. Keep on listening to Leaf Station pregame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Make your next career move with 2 Men in a Truck. The company is hiring motivated and enthusiastic team members for mover, driver, and customer service positions. And if you're looking for more, professional advancement is always a possibility. In fact, 75% of 2 Men in a Truck managers started in frontline positions. Now is the time to apply. Visit 2meninatruck.ca and click careers.
2 Men and a Truck, the movers who care. A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a callback. You need a job. Express Employment Professionals can help. We'll connect you to the right company. We're committed to your success and never charge a fee to find you a job. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Find your location at expresspros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. Molson Canadian, proud partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's do this!
Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick with you, getting you set for puck drop here at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs are looking for their second straight win. Erik Källgren makes the start. Just a rest day for Matt Murray. No need to panic, folks. Ilya Sorokin between the pipes for the Islanders. That will give you a little bit of cause for panic. He has been lights out to start his season. .925 save percentage this year. Gordo, always like to tee you up. What do you got today as far as your keys to victory?
Well, you mentioned Kelly Yarncroke. I'm going to talk about Alex Kerfoot.
Okay.
Just we talk about balanced scoring, balanced offense. The question about the lack of offense for the Leafs, I mean, others have to pick up from what was expected from, say, Ilya Mikheyev last year and Austin Matthews so far down a bit, still at a 40-goal pace, which is not too shabby. And I just look at, Kerfoot's the guy that's got to be the guy offensively. He's got skill, he can skate, and I'm not saying one game, I'm just saying more in general. And number two, Sheldon Keefe's talked about he's liked the defensive structure of the team. Without TJ Brodie in particular, and looks like he's going to be out for a little bit. I think Jake Muzzin, it's kind of a foregone conclusion. He's out for a while. But nice to see when there are a lot of pizzas being delivered by Rasmus Sandin in particular, that the team has steadied down that way. And number one, got 5 goals against the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday. You want to find that scoring. Good test tonight, because you mentioned Sorokin, how well he plays in goal. This is an Islander team, still the Barry Trotz style. You can get in their zone, but they don't give you great looks. Austin Matthews is a guy not getting as many looks as he did last year. At least seems to be the way. So a real good test about having to work and try to create open space, open shots, and create your opportunity.
That's really interesting, because stylistically, that could lull the Leafs into a bit of a trap. We know how strong they are in terms of possessing the puck in the offense. Could shape up to be a really, really interesting one, because that right there, you can see a world where it plays into either team's hand.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you want to get beyond the feeling out process early on, and that really mimics playoff hockey as well. And again, the Islanders didn't do it as well last year, and we mentioned COVID and other things were a reason they got so far behind the 8 balls, but they've just got a real good a lot of ways. I know Lou Lamoriello's not the coach, but what he had in New Jersey for quite some time, it's kind of like what the Islanders have now.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very similar there. In terms of the lineup tonight, Mitch Marner looking to extend his 12-game point streak. He will start the night alongside John Tavares and Alex Kerfoot, the continuing of the flipping of the wingers, if you want to call it. Matthews, Nylander, and Bunting is your top line. Aston Reese, Kampf, and Malgin, followed by Jarnkrok, Holmberg, and Pierre Engvall there. You need your 13th forward to be able to come in and be a useful body for you.
Yeah, where other guys continue to fight for a spot or trying to find their way a little more permanently. You're right about him, playing well early on. And again, it comes down Nick Robertson, not dressed again tonight. There's no controversy about it at this point, but I just hope and I believe Sheldon Keefe, whatever the shortfalls are, and he says there are some, that, Nick Robertson's a hard worker and that he's working to remedy those, because you can't tell people to go out and score goals. He's one of those guys, compared to the others, that has had a history of being a natural goal scorer, and the Leafs, like every team, need some goals.
Yeah, there's only one player on this team, I think, that Austin Matthews would defer and say he has a better shot than me, and apparently that's Nick Robertson. Quite frankly, I still don't believe him, but it was really nice of him to see. We have seen that shot in action in the Dallas game specifically, where he not only got the one that sent it to overtime, he sent them walking off with the winner. You'd like to see more of that, but you will not see it tonight. Once again, he is a healthy scratch. Again, looking at the blue line there, the most important name is one you will not see, TJ Brodie, not in the lineup again for this team. It is hard to overstate what he means to this group. Gordo will get you out on a final thought on TJ Brodie.
Yeah, not going to travel with him on the road. He's just, they haven't had, there hasn't been, wow additions. Tyson Barrie never really came into play that way, and really, the last couple of years, all I can think about is TJ Brodie, and that's why you wonder about, not that the Leafs are stagnating, but just, you like to have somebody new coming in after so many new people came in a very short period of time and were successful. But I've been impressed from day one about that stability he's given and that consistency he's played.
Coming up next, Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph have the call of the Leafs and Islanders live here from Scotiabank. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sleeves up. It's time for your annual flu shot at Shoppers Drug Mart. Book today at shoppersdrugmart.ca/flu or through the PC Health app. Over 1,100 pharmacies across Canada. Subject to vaccine availability. Limitations apply.
At Toyota, our vehicles have always had quality and advanced safety features built right in.
Because sometimes I might forget to check my blind spots.
Quality means everything to us because it means everything to you. Order a new 2023 Corolla L from $24,541. Dealer may charge additional fees up to $1,221. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today. It's time to Toyota.
This Black Friday at Bell, you'll get savings and Canada's best 5G network. And it feels like, whoop, whoop. They also feel like,
oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
You might get this feeling too.
Woohoo!
go!
The Bell Black Friday event is on. Get on Canada's best 5G network with savings up to 70% on the latest phones and so much more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Black Friday for details. Bell. Black Friday just got better.
She just went out for a quick ride. Is she going to be okay?
It's a brain injury.
What are we going to do?
When a devastating injury leaves your world a blur, Thomson Rogers is there to help you focus with practical legal advice and support.
I'm so glad you're here.
From the hospital room to the courtroom, the lawyers at Thomson Rogers are by your side at every step. That's real life counsel. Go to trlaw.com to find out more.
Hi, I'm Gareth Wheeler, and there's never been more excitement around Canadian soccer than right now. When betting the beautiful game, it's all about getting the best value you can while cheering on your favorite country. And the best value in handicaps, totals, and money lines for every single match is at pinnacle.ca, the sharpest book on the planet. And check out our unique Canada props markets for everyday low odds value.
19 plus Ontario only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call the Connex Ontario helpline at 1-866-531-2600. Operating under agreement with iGaming Ontario.
Ever find yourself in a situation where you really want to pick something but can't? Mega wedgie? Peeling sunburn? Pesky little nose goblins? The worst! But at Kudo, picking isn't shamed. In fact, it's highly encouraged. With our new Pick Your Perk plans, you get to personalize your phone plan with the free feature that makes you happy. Now who wouldn't pick that? So pick away, picky people. Pick away.
Black Friday is on now at Mark's. From November 17th to 23rd, save up to 70% in-store and online. Featuring great savings on jackets, sweaters, boots, workwear, and more. Visit Mark's in-store or at marks.com to shop and save.
We're live with NBA Rookie of the Year Scotty Barnes, fresh off the court.
Welcome to the Subway Eat Fresh, Refresh.
Tell us your thoughts on Subway's new rice bowls.
This is news. What if we call it Bowlway?
Okay, how about we take a look at these ingredients?
Seasoned steak, rice, avocado, chipotle sauce.
Delicious.
Bowlway by Scotty. Subway. Eat fresh, refresh.
For a limited time, save $3 with code BOWL3 only on the Subway app. Freshly prepared for your order at participating shops. Terms apply.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Johnny Torado! And the Leafs lead. Scotiabank Arena, the Leafs and the New York Islanders. And the starting goaltenders tonight, Ilya Sorokin starting for the Islanders is 7-5-0 with a 2.41 goals against average. The Maple Leafs are pulling a rabbit out of their hat. They're not letting anybody know who plays goal, especially if you're a New York Islander, because they're always somebody different.
Well, that's a good setup.
Yeah.
And I give Armin credit for this, even though Sportsnet Stats tweeted it out.
Yep.
That the last 4 Leaf wins over the Islanders have been 4 different goalies.
Yep.
This is now 7 straight games against the Islanders with a different goaltender, going back to Garrett Sparks. In 2019, Freddie Anderson. Now I got to find my sheet.
I threw the volleyball up too early.
Michael Hutchinson, Jack Campbell.
Yep. And now
Joseph Wall had a shutout. Long Island. Peter Mrazek last year, and Joseph Wall with a goaltender. So
and Eric,
there you go.
Shalgren gets the start here tonight, and he is 2-2-3 with a 2.86 goals against average. And right off the hop, we've got an icing call here against Toronto. 19:52 to play here in the first period. We are just underway at Scotiabank Arena. A Monday night. Draw won by the Islanders, and a shot in traffic went wide of the Leaf goal, tipped out at center for Kerfoot. He's going to bounce it down into Islander territory, and Scott Mayfield gets it out at center ice. Tavares sending it to the line, and now in by Marner. Marner for Kerfoot. Marner now rings the boards with it. It'll come around to the near side. Giordano sends it back from whence it came. Marner unable to get to it. Tavares battles for it, banks it back to the blue line. Giordano with a shot that got through, and Sorokin had to make the first save of the game. Good body. Here's a chance now for Tavares, trying to get it back again to Giordano, but it was knocked away, and then Tavares was bowled over by Scott Mayfield. Leafs coming out of their own end at center. Hall sends it in, took a bit of a hit from Clutterbuck as a backhand went wide of the Islander goal. Islanders come in with 11 wins, 8 losses, 22 points. And are 5-5-0 on the road as it comes out at center and down into the into the Islander zone. Nylander in pursuit. Bunting trying to knock it by the defenseman, has to go off his stick and into the screen. Face-off coming in the Islander zone with we are just a minute 23 into the game.
Well, the leading scorer for the New York Islanders, Matthew Barzal. 21 points on the year, 2 goals, 19 assists. The 2 goals were the last game against Dallas. He scored 2 in the first period. First 2 of the season. Hit the 20-goal mark in his rookie year, but has struggled to get back there since.
But he does have a penchant for setting people up. The draw won by Toronto. Comes back to Sandin. On the far side to Liljegren. Sent the shot purposely wide, and as it came to the side of the goal, Sorokin will put the glove on it and hold for a face-off. Leafs embark on a bit of a road trip after tonight. They'll be in New Jersey on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. And then Friday, American Thanksgiving in full force. The Leafs will be in Minnesota, but it'll be a 2 o'clock start. So mark that on your calendar. As the puck comes to center, and Liljegren getting it ahead to the line. Unable to tip it ahead there was Camp. And Sandin and Liljegren start out. Off Camp to the line, but the Leafs don't get it in. The Leafs will try to stretch things out again. Liljegren on to Camp. Camp again unable to make a play there. He's had about 3 opportunities to get the puck into the zone. Hasn't been able to do on any one of them. Now Camp trying to get the puck out of his own end. Finally does. He'll get to center ice. He's by himself. Sends a long shoot in on Sorokin. Goes after it in along the near board, but can't come up with it. Here's Barzal losing the puck, then re-stealing it back. He works back in his own zone. Islanders with a long lead pass that is going to be called for icing. And it'll come back into the New York zone. The Leafs come into the game 10-5-4, 24 points. They're 7-2-2 on home ice. And one of the Islanders,
I believe it was Brock Nelson,
went down the hallway there, yeah.
And that might have been right off the face-off of David Kemp. Seemed to be his right ankle that he twisted. Not good for the Islanders as Brock Nelson is second in team scoring. 9 goals, 19 points coming into this game. And to lose him on possibly such a fluke play.
At the point, the Leafs with a drive that whistled wide of the goal. Barzal works out of his own zone with a pass onto the right wing side, and it is shot by Oliver Wahlstrom down into the Toronto zone. Leafs get it to the line, and in the view of the linesman over on that side, outside the line, brought in offside. Wes McCauley and Brendan Blandina are the referees. Tyson Baker, James Tobias are the linesmen.
This for the New York Islanders, 63 goals in the season. 30 of them have come in the third period. They've scored 2 in overtime. So, more than half of their goals have been scored in the third period and extra time. By the way, that's first in the NHL, 30 goals in the third.
Played down into the Islander zone. Chipped to the line, but not out. Holmberg sends it around into the corner for Engvall. Engvall tied up along the boards. The puck comes back to the point. A long shot. Kind of surprised Sorokin there, I thought. He had to quickly get that right pad out to make a save. Now a centering pass comes back to the blue line. Wrist shot in traffic, deflects wide. Again back of the net now, Engvall. Getting some help here from Hall, who gets it back to the blue line. Fed on the near side by Yarncrook. And now Giordano sends it into the corner, but the Islanders get it up on the wing, and Palmieri can't get it out. Leafs in with a shot, big rebound. Unable to shoot the backhand there was Engvall, though. Engvall into the corner. Islanders play it to the line. Giordano dropping it back. Here's a chance now for Marner, back of the goal, trying to flip it in front. That comes back to him, and then he sends across the goal mouth. It goes to the far side. Tavares back for Marner. Leafs buzzing in the offensive zone to Hall. Hall works into the corner, centering pass. Tipped there by Tavares. Loose puck in front of the net. Cleared to the line, but not out. Leafs again to Marner. Marner working along the near boards. dishes it off to the point. Not shooting it yet. Now the shot comes in front. Marner didn't shoot the backhand when he had the chance. Back to the blue line. Kept in now there by Giordano. Tavares back of the net, and Hall is in back of the goal. Now around back of the net again. Tavares on the far side to Marner. Back to the blue line it goes. Now a shot deflected in on goal by Tavares' glove by Sorokin.
You know, Marner
had it on a string, didn't they?
You know, Marner's on a roll when he's taking out his own guys. Stick handling. It actually collided with Justin Hall, who is down low looking for a scoring opportunity. And the Leafs, we're just 4 minutes and 45 seconds into this game. The Leafs are shooting the Islanders 7-0.
They had two decent scoring chances on those scrambles around the Islander goal.
And Yeli Sorokin's numbers the start of this year and all of last year have been pretty impressive.
Now the Leafs, Nylander flipping it in front of the net. Didn't reach Matthews. Cleared to the line and not out. Bunting battles on the boards. The puck does come free. And it is Clutterbuck getting it out at center for Cizikas. Cizikas took his man down and no call. Clutterbuck gets a chance to play it around back of the net. That created a scoring chance, too. Leafs back the other way. Nylander in over the line, doesn't shoot it. And then it rolled off his stick. Matthews in the far corner. Cizikas took it away from him as he fell. And now plays it to center ice. Martin trying to get a hit in. Here's a chance for Nylander off the goalpost. Rattled it off the far iron. He's got it again. Nylander in the corner. Looking back to the blue line and finding Ben. To the left wing side to Riley. Riley into the corner. Back to the point to Matthews. Back to Riley. Riley eludes one. Tries to center. It's going to go high off a stick. And into the screen. And the two big lines have had back-to-back pressure-filled efforts against the Islanders here in a 0-0 tie.
You're a little surprised that Sheldon Keefe has gone back to Tavares, Marner, and Matthews, Nylander as a combination? I mean, they switched halfway through last game.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I really don't.
It's almost surprising when you see guys actually play together.
Yeah, they flip a coin and decide, all right, you got you got this one, I got the other one. Islanders win the face-off. Mayfield getting it off on the left wing. A pass ahead that Pajot couldn't get into the Leafs zone. And Toronto has the puck in its own end. Camp getting it ahead. Aston Reese across the line. Malgin pulls the brakes on. Slides it into the corner and back of the net. Aston Reese failed to control the puck, but had a pretty good grab on the stick of the Islander player without a call. Now Aston Reese in along the boards. Malgin trying to help out. Malgin back to Aston Reese looking for Camp. Camp trying to get it in front, was knocked down on the play. And now Josh Bailey trying to get it out in a long lead pass. Pajot heading to the front of the net and a shot. The first save required from Eric Shalgren is made off a shot from the left wing. And a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. It took 6 minutes and 41 seconds for the Islanders to get their first shot on goal. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 310-DELL.
Hi, it's Fido. Are you ready for Black Friday deals? Because we got some incredible offers on select phones and plans, so you can score your favorites at their most affordable. Select plans even include data overage protection, so you can be data confident. Wait, is that true?
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going to Fido to get a Black Friday deal.
Can you finish the ad first?
Go to Fido.ca or a Fido store now. Fido, at your side.
At Real Canadian Superstore, open your PC Optimum app now until November 30th to earn 25,000 points for every $100 spent on home, electronics, and more. That's like $25 in points. Wow. Super points, super deals. See flyer for details.
Staying active? Check. Saving big in the process? Check.
The Sport Check Black Friday event is here with savings up to 60% on Canada's top brands. See in-store or sportcheck.ca for details. Some exclusions may apply.
So I was just at Shoppers Drug Mart, and they have like hundreds of gifts. I got an electric toothbrush, new fragrances, toys, and I got PC Optimum points. My holiday shopping is done. You should totally check it out.
Going all out for the Go Leafs Go. Go Leafs Go. Go Leafs Go. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face-off coming in the Toronto zone, and a big congratulations to Ryan Dinwiddie and the Toronto Argonauts winning the Grey Cup in Regina yesterday. What a tremendous game it was. Hugh Mwamba, the most valuable player and the most outstanding Canadian. And apparently the boys have landed, and some are going to actually be at tonight's game to be celebrated as it's rolled down into the Islander zone. Brought out now by Wahlstrom on the right wing. Stolen by Nylander. Got it back looking for Bunting, but the pass was well behind him, and he heads to the bench. Islanders in their own zone. There is no score. Noah Dobson dropping it back to his defense partner, and Adam Pelech gets it down into the Leaf end. Puck off the boards, comes around on the near side. Beauvillier lost it there. Engvall trying to find Sandin. It comes back into the Leaf zone. Chipped out into the center ice area. Engvall against the boards battling for it. Cleared in. It hit the linesman who got in the way. Leafs trying to get it out but can't. Into the far corner now for Josh Bailey. Sent around the boards to the right wing side. Pollock got a shot that went wide of the Leaf goal. Toronto back, and Martin, as is his wont, had Sandin lined up for a hit, but would had that elude him as the Leafs get it down into the Islander zone. Here's Sandin curling in the corner, tried to get it back on the near wing and does. Tavares along the boards, on to Marner. Marner to Sandin, back in front for Tavares! And the backhand went just wide. Down into the corner is Marner again, trying to come out with it. And it is knocked away from him and cleared out into the center ice area. John Tavares playing in his 300th game as a Maple Leaf, 129 points, or 129 goals. And in the same amount of time that he played with the Islanders, the same scoring stat, 129 goals. That's amazing. So this is the break-even point, as the Leaf captain will have a longer tenure in Toronto. Played down into the Islander zone. Round on the boards for Camp. Back of the net for Malgin. Centered in front of the net. Aston Reese couldn't control the puck, and it is cleared now by the Islanders to center ice.
Well, every line the Leafs have thrown out have had some offensive pressure, haven't they? Shots on goal still 7-1 Toronto.
Camp off the boards to center. Fed ahead for Aston Reese and backhanded down into the Islander zone. We're approaching the halfway mark of the first period. No score. Brought to center by Pelech. Played into the far corner. Jordy Ben is there. Ben is able to free it up momentarily. Now up against the wall it goes. Matthews couldn't pry it free. Long shot from well out is wide. Into the near side, and did that skip up into the screen? The linesman says it did. And so a face-off coming in the Toronto zone as a result. Dean, face-off coming to the right in the Toronto end.
By the way, Matt Barzal was 16th overall pick. That came part of a trade. You know, the Islanders gave up to get that first-round pick.
Islanders after a loose puck in the far boards. Bailey trying to send it in front of the net. Matthews disrupted that, cleared to the line and out before being rattled right back in again. Down the boards, Islanders getting it into the corner. Back into the slot now. Nelson trying to get a shot, he did. And that was stopped with the blocker by Shalgren. Second shot on goal for the Islanders. Incidentally, assistant coach Dean Chinook not behind the Toronto bench. He is under the weather a little bit. And in this day and age, you have to qualify that by saying, not COVID. Now here's Engvall getting it down into the Islander zone. Holmberg couldn't come up with it. Yarncrook does. Tried to play it back to the point, but the Islanders come away with it. And they'll skate it out at center and now send it down into the Toronto end. Icing waved off. Barzal took Hall to the boards. Hall then ties his man up. Puck is rung around to the far point. Grabbed by Sebastian Aho. He loses it. Leafs on the break on the right wing side. Oh, and Marner had it roll off his stick. Or excuse me, it was Yarncrook who had it roll off his stick. Now a quick shot taken by Barzal was stopped by Shalgren at the other end. Puck down in the Toronto zone. Still free. Here's a chance for Wallstrom to play it around back to the net. Thought he had a chance to shoot it at the net and didn't take it. Leafs were able to chop it out at center ice. Islanders regroup, get it to the Toronto blue line. Marner intercepts, played it ahead. Here's a chance across the line, but Kerfoot couldn't control it initially, and it comes out at center ice. Now he's going to try and shoot it in, as Tavares was trapped in there, but the Islanders have control and are stretching things out in their own zone. A pass deflects down off the stick of Clutterbuck into the Toronto end. Played into the far corner for Marner. Cizikas got it freed up. Clutterbuck into the corner. Played off the wing, but not out. Pellick at the point with a shot. Big rebound in front off the pad of Shalgren. Centered in front of the net. Cizikas getting it back to the blue line. Long shot directs wide of the Leaf goal. Back to the net. Cizikas trying to come out with it. Tavares working against the wall. A collision over there with about 5 players, and the puck finally comes free. It's amazing that this fourth line of the New York Islanders has been together as long as it has. Not always consecutive seasons.
No, that was Matt Martin spending time in Toronto.
Yeah. Boy, they put it back together, and it's effective. You can hear them forechecking.
And feel them, too.
Yes, Pajot in across the line. A shot deflects towards the net. Scooped into the corner by Shalgren. It comes back to the point. Islanders to the near side for Mayfield. Shot deflects wide. Far boards trying to chop it in as Alex Romanov. It goes into the corner, and the Leafs are going to get it to the line. And just out at center ice. Malgin was knocked down, but as he got up, he got the puck back. And then gets it down into the Islander zone before losing it. First period moving along quite briskly. 6:19 to play. No score. Islanders in with a shot that goes well wide of the net. Dobson at the left point trying to send it in. Rolls in on goal and sprawling out on it. There's Eric Shalgren to cover up. 6:08 left to play first period.
And the Leafs, we mentioned, had 7 shots on goal in the first 4.5 minutes of this period. They have not had one since.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Hugh Herron, chairman of Heathwood Homes. Tradition means a lot to us. Our reputation for quality, service, and customer care are all part of Heathwood's tradition, and that has made us the most successful new home builder. Thousands of people are now proud to be living in a Heathwood home in one of our many outstanding communities, and you can too. Visit heathwood.com to learn all about our fabulous communities. With Heathwood, you'll be home at last.
This season on Sportsnet,
The National Hockey League has returned. Doesn't get any better than that.
all the incredible,
A theatrical beauty from Connor McDavid.
all the unthinkable,
Oh my goodness, what a goal!
all season long.
Matthew scores! There's a new member of the 60-goal club. Trophy 500!
That's why you gotta watch
That was amazing.
every game on Sportsnet.
Pavlov's dog proved that irresistible incentives bring predictable results. Now, Nick Pavlov, broker Remax West, is proving it again. With perfect staging, pinpoint accurate pricing, intimate Toronto neighborhood knowledge, the Nick Pavlov real estate team will achieve a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Centered in front of the back
590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Maple Leafs celebrating a little bit. Jordy Ben playing in his 600th NHL game. And hasn't he fit in rather nicely?
Well, that's exactly why you go out and you make those deals in the offseason, isn't it? Make sure you've got depth and some experience to go with it.
Played around the boards off a face-off win by the Islanders to the near side. Bunting got the puck to the line but not out. Beauvillier cleared it in, and it is swept around on the boards now to Hall. Hall makes a little move, now works back towards his own goal and behind, stops and gives it off to Nylander, who starts out. Nylander to center. Nylander to the right wing side. Fanned on the shoot-in, then was able to just roll it into the zone, but the Leafs had no momentum. In fact, they're now peeling to the bench for a player change. Islanders break it back out with Barzal. Barzal to the line. Matthews on him. Barzal goes down. The puck in behind. And
goal now 7-4 favoring the Leafs. By the way, Lane Lambert, it is first year behind an NHL bench with the New York Islanders. He's the head coach with Milwaukee in the American League for 4 years. Went up to Nashville, 3 years with Barry Trotz as an assistant there. 4 years with Washington. And then came with him to the Islanders. So it must be a little odd to replace the guy that you worked alongside for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Leafs with the puck, and Ben trying to chip it up on the glass. Had it knocked away. Islanders get it back to the point, but it's knocked out at center ice. Breaking with it now is Aston Reese, who drops it back for Malgin. Tried to make a sharp turn and lost his edge. And the Islanders get it down into the Leaf end. Barzal turning with it. Drops it off into the corner. Round back of the net. They swing with it. Back to the point, and a shot in traffic. They score! A redirect in front of the net off a Noah Dobson shot. And once again, the Leafs find themselves trailing off the hop.
And I think it might have been David Kampf that had the puck glance off his leg and in. And this shot was probably going 2 or 3 feet wide. But they throw it to the net, and it beats Shalgren, just the 5th shot on goal for the Islanders. But this all starts as you described, Joe. Dennis Malgin came into the Islanders zone, put on the brakes, and fell. That was the turnover that led to the Islanders getting back into the Leaf zone. And the one-timer from the point, it looked at one point that it might have been Anders Lee that got a piece of it. But David Kampf was right beside him, and I think it went off the Leaf forward.
It's the 11th time the Leafs have surrendered the opening goal, but they're 6-2-2, and they have. Centering pass comes back to the point. Shot in traffic, deflects wide of the goal. Down along the boards, Islanders will play it high. It's gone into the screen with 4:18 left to play here in the first period, and the New York Islanders lead in the game by a score of 1-0.
And I believe there was, 4.5 minutes gone when the Leafs had their 7 shots on goal. They outshooted the Islanders 7-1. Well, since then, it has been 6-0 for the New York Islanders in shots.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Make sure that your business documents are for your recipient's eyes and no one else's. Trust Record Express for industry-leading standards in secure storage, scanning, and shredding. With fast, same-day service, flexible contract terms, and all the support you need to safeguard your confidential information. Visit recordexpress.ca today for document storage and shredding special offers. That's Record, XPRESS.ca. Record Express. Store, scan, shred Canadian.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Oh, hi. I'd like to apply for a loan so I can consolidate some of my dets.
Sure. Do you own your home?
Yes. But Carl, our resident ghost, keeps saying it's his house and we should get out.
Okay. But you are the registered owner.
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Hey, hear that, Carl? Huh?
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
Visitor license 12616.
Staying active? Check. Saving big in the process? Check. The Sport Check Black Friday event is here with savings up to 60% on Canada's top brands. See in store or sportcheck.ca for details. Some exclusions may apply.
Are you over 18? You may be eligible to receive your COVID-19 bivalent booster at Shoppers Drug Mart. Book today at shoppersdrugmart.ca/COVID. Subject to vaccine availability. Ontario only. Limitations apply.
This is the station for Leafs Nation. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph back here at Scotiabank Arena. Armin Zagarian running the operation. Andrew Holland and Brent Armstrong pushing all of the buttons. And the Leafs trail 1-0. Islanders are 6-1-1 when they've scored the opening goal. And now get another shot just wide of the net by Zach Parise. Another shot deflects wide. Kerfoot curling back in his own zone to Giordano. Giordano stretches things out with a pass up on the right side into Kerfoot, a backhand. And that deflected just wide as it went off Sorokin. They're going to give him a shot on goal for that, you think, Ralphie? I don't know. Played out at center ice. Here's Palmieri getting down into the Leaf end. Good play made by the Leaf defense. And then Giordano got kind of crumpled up and is slow to get up, but is okay. Leafs get it to the blue line, but not out. Brought to the center ice line. Giordano with the puck in his own end. Trying to flip it out at center for Matthews. Matthews to Bunting. Bunting in across the line. Got a backhander away. And Sorokin went low to cover up on that. Holding for a face-off in the Islander zone. The best chance the Leafs have had is not a shot on goal. Or a whistling shot that hit the goalpost.
That was Willie Nylander, although John Tavares had the puck on his stick in the slot as well. Tavares has 2 shots on goal. Remember, he hit a backhand. And he delivered to the net that Sorokin was able to stop.
Kerfoot's backhand went right off the mask of Sorokin. Draw one by Toronto. Riley to Nylander. Walking the line, got a shot towards the traffic, then almost stole it back in front of the net from Beauvillier. And around the boards, quickly played by Pulock out at center. And the Islanders get to the Leaf line and in. A shot deflects and goes up into the screen. And another face-off with 3:04 to play in the period will come in the Toronto zone to the right of goaltender Eric Kallgren.
The Leafs had a lot of these games early on in the season where they came out strong in the first 5 or 6 minutes. And then the game settled in and started to get away from them. And, you know, the Islanders really haven't had a lot of pressure. I mean, the one goal and it's a point shot off the shin pad of David Kampf. But they haven't had the jump or the crispness that we saw in the first 5 minutes of this game.
Draw one by the Maple Leafs. Fed around the boards and chipped to the line. Not out. Kampf battles up against the boards here with Wahlstrom. That puck finally comes free, and the Leafs have it back in their own zone with Morgan Riley. Feeding it ahead off the stick of Engvall. Kampf into the corner after it, back of the net. Engvall trying to help out and support the puck up against the boards, pinned there by Romanov. The puck does come free. Barzal circling back in the far corner, works back of his own goal, played it off the boards, not out immediately, but now the Islanders do get it to center. Barzal on the wing for Lee, who sends it down into the corner. Barzal is stood up on a hit there by Ben. Ben getting in the way of Barzal again. Puck comes free to Engvall, and a holding the stick call is coming here, and I believe it's against the Maple Leafs.
And as a yarn crook, I believe, is the... No, Jamie Benn, 18, not 19.
2-minute minor for holding the stick.
Jordy Benn. Wrong Ben, wrong number. So the
Long time for a penalty. Anything else you got wrong?
Still 5 to go. Well, but at least there was a penalty. They got that right.
No.
Yeah, that was Ben and Barzal into the corner. And one thing about replays for the holding the stick penalty, you usually get nailed on it.
Yeah.
Well, the Islanders won 63% of the face-offs so far, and they win another one.
Dobson back at the point, working into the corner. Islanders are 12 of 58 on the power play. Pass intercepted in front of the net by the Leafs and fed out at center ice.
The Islanders are 4 for 11 in the last 3 games coming into this one.
Puck in the center ice area. Barzal got it up on the wing, knocked out of the air there by Hall. Hall can't clear it. Lee gets it back to the point. Barzal on the far half boards, banking it back to the point. The Dobson, a shot that was deflected in front of the net, but it really took the momentum of the shot away, and it trickled in on Shalgren, and he makes the save and holds on.
Not been an easy game for Shalgren. Everything seems to be a deflection or through a screen on him. As we saw in the only goal of this game that bounced in off his teammate, David Kemp. So we did go through the goaltenders that the Islanders have faced the last 7 times against. I finally found my notes. That way we confirm these. and I give Armin credit. He's the one that did the spade work on it.
Spade work. All right. Puck back in the Toronto zone. Whoa, just off the glass. And I mean just off the glass and into the crowd on the backhand by Liljegren.
Yeah, that's...
If that got a quarter of an inch of that glass, I'd be surprised. But you can hear it.
You could see it, and you could see it change direction from down here as well. But yes, the goaltenders, Garrett Sparks, Freddie Anderson, Michael Hutchinson, Jack Campbell, Peter Mrazek, and Joseph Wall.
And now
that is
Eric Schulman.
Yeah. So 7 straight games against the Islanders with a different goaltender.
Got to do a lot of advanced scouting when you play the Leafs if you're the Islanders. Draw one, and Riley bounces it out and down the ice for Toronto.
Start by Joe Wall, you might remember. Michael Hutchinson had a shutout, but so did Joe Wall in the first game in the new building against the New York Islanders.
Islanders to center, get it into the Leaf zone, drop back for Dobson, less than a minute in the period. Islanders work it along the boards with Lee getting it back to the net. Riley intercept, tried to get it ahead for Marner. Marner is unable to get it out. Here's a puck, though, deflected by Camp out at center ice. Nelson has to wait for teammates to get onside. Apparently he did. Leafs are able to get it back out into the neutral zone. Played in over the line. Riley getting there in a hurry, and he gets it out at center ice. Dobson will backpedal into his own zone. Up ahead for Barzal. Matthew Barzal on the right side. Pajot gets it back to him. Cross ice pass in the slot down low. And no one can wrap it around. Now it comes to the point, and it's whistled wide of the net by Noah Dobson. He gets it again, and another shot. Blocked this time by Kerfoot. 1 second left in the penalty, and that will do it. And 3 seconds left in the period, and that will do that.
Well, the Islanders with some great puck control of the offensive zone here in that power play, but did not get a shot on goal. As the Leafs hold a 9-7 advantage in that category, but only 2 shots for the Leafs in the last 15 minutes in the first period.
Dobson from Aho and Barzal at 15:21, the only goal of the period. Want to do a bit of a shout out tonight to the staff and doctors in Sunnybrook Hospital who are looking after a very dear friend of the Bowen boys, Paul Gilinardo, who is in hospital there and underwent some delicate surgery. I coached Paul and both hockey and baseball, and all of my sons are very close friends of his. To Mario and Janice, you raised a big, tough young lad. He's got this. It is 1-0 Islanders after a period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
With TELUS, you're a part of something bigger. We are helping make the world a better place by using our technology for good. TELUS Health is innovating to help make good health and well-being easier for all. From field to fork, TELUS Agriculture is improving our global food system. And we're investing in sustainable technologies to protect our planet. You can learn more at TELUS.com/purpose. Join us and let's make the future friendly.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova. Satisfy your sandwich cravings with our veal or chicken ciabatta sandwiches. Lightly breaded cutlets covered in our home-style tomato sauce and toasted to perfection. Ciao, I'm Dominic Primucci, inviting you to try them today and taste the difference.
439 Pizza Nova. 439 Pizza Nova.
In Ontario, we already have enough land for housing, but we don't have enough greenbelt. Many Ontario families make an honest living feeding us from greenbelt land. But if Doug Ford takes it away, only a few families will profit. And they're not farmers. Doug Ford and his developer friends don't need the greenbelt, but we do. Tell your MPP, hands off the greenbelt at saveourgreenbelt.ca. Brought to you by Small Change Fund.
It's early access to the Bay's Black Friday sale with up to 60% off, including clearance. Right now, you'll find amazing deals, like up to 60% off women's and men's outerwear from DKNY, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and more. Plus, shop confidently with 90-day returns and the Bay's price match guarantee. So head over to your local Hudson's Bay store or thebay.com and get ahead on your holiday shopping. It's Black Friday at the Bay. Exclusions and conditions apply.
Please, your mother of all poutines is so saucy, you use curtains as a bib.
Your mother of all poutines is so cheesy, it's every dad's favorite comedian.
Yo, your mother of all poutines is so big, I took a photo of it and it's still pretty.
Damn, you win. This one's on me.
Okay.
Experience the mother of all poutines at St. Louis Bar and Grill. It's 3 pounds of classic cheesy poutine, covered with our garlic dill sauce and signature saucy boneless wings. Check out all the new instant classic dishes and drinks this winter, only for a limited time. St. Louis Bar and Grill, celebrating 30 devilishly good years.
Keeping construction and mining industries earth-moving equipment at peak performance is a big job. It takes the latest technology, insight, experience, and some incredible people. At SMS Equipment, we roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Grow your career and expertise by working with some of the world's most advanced machines and heavy equipment technologies. SMS Equipment. Big machines, bigger careers. Apply now at smsequipment.com.
Some things leave you guessing. Like, why are yawns so contagious? But you know who doesn't leave you guessing? MailChimp. MailChimp analyzes data from billions of emails to offer up personalized recommendations for how to improve things like your email content and audience targeting. Guess less and sell more with the #1 email marketing and automation brand, Intuit MailChimp, based on competitor brands' publicly available data on worldwide numbers of customers in 2021-2022.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Scores! Johnny Tavares opens the scoring!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking with it now is Aston Reese, who drops it back for Malgin. Tried to make a sharp turn and lost his edge. And the Islanders get it down into the Leaf end. Barzal turning with it. Drops it off into the corner. Round back of the net. They swing with it. Back to the point and a shot in traffic. They score! A redirect in front of the net off a Noah Dobson shot. And once again, the Leafs find themselves trailing off the Hawks.
Yes, that is what happened. That is what continues to happen here at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs trailing 1-0 after 20 minutes. They are outshooting the Islanders 9-7. But Gord, it's kind of what they do. The Islanders will let you play around the edges in the offensive zone. Great start from the Leafs. Really took it to them. The shots were 7-0 at one point in time. But the Islanders, much like we've heard about them and we've seen for the first period, just absorb the punches, kind of hang around, allow the game to eventually come to them. And hey, it wasn't pretty. Noah Dobson off of David Camp, so you really don't like that from a Leafs perspective, and it's 1-0 Islanders.
It's funny, that was kind of a narrative we discussed before the game and it happened. I mean, the Islanders only had one shot in the first 10 minutes. Now, they got 6 in the last 10. About 3 of them were really good scoring chances as well. I think how many grade A chances? There were a few of them there, but to the point, I mean, the Islanders really bent a lot but didn't break, that classic style. And then on the goal, we talked about it. I don't know if he's trying to, throw a bone to his fourth line, Sheldon Keefe, but they're out against Barzal and Anders Lee. I mean, you've got last change as the home team, and you view that as a mismatch unless there was something, he did intentionally to reward his fourth line. But they kind of got burnt on that, and Our man Armin, what a great stat. Noah Dobson has 6 goals himself. Leafs D only have 5 combined. Again, the lack of scoring. That includes the lack of scoring from the D, despite Giordano's great shorthanded goal the other night.
And 2 of those, so you got a shorthanded goal from Giordano, and if you listen to some people out there, that shouldn't have even counted. And you got 2 in one game from Timothy Liljegren. Justin Hall has had one. I'm trying to remember where the other one, offensive stalwart Jordy Ben with the game winner. So there it is. The fact that I, off the top of my head, having not prepared for this at all, can rip those off. One, it tells you I watch way too much Toronto Maple Leafs hockey, but more importantly, it just kind of proves the lack of offense. Now, it's not been a complete, black hole back there. We talk about Morgan Riley's second in the NHL in assists, but in terms of actually scoring themselves, not what you want to see. You mentioned the Leafs, they had their looks. Boy, oh boy, did they have their chances. Alex Kerfoot had a mini break. Kelly Yarncroke had a full-fledged break. Couldn't corral the puck. William Nylander off the post. Tavares had a good chance, but to the other thing you mentioned, all that came in the first half of the period. They got to find a way to kind of retake the game. Now, part of that, you're killing a penalty. Okay, that's part of the momentum there, but there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to come out and look like you did for the first half of that first period in the second.
Yeah, I mean, the Islanders have taken control. I wouldn't, not dominated by any stretch, but it was actually the Leafs had kind of a more dominant first half, so you got to get it back. Penalties over. It ended with about 5 seconds left in the first period. It was the only penalty in that period, and just some great plays. So everybody seemingly involved in it. And again, like I said, 9 shots. It just seems like there could have been a lot more. But that's exactly the flow that they got to get back, that kind of style.
Yeah, and then even more of what the Islanders do on the few occasions that they do break and they allow the great looks, be it Nylander, be it Matthews, be it Tavares. Sorokin is doing what he's done all season long, and that's standing tall. He hasn't had the 10 Bell save yet, but he made a few big ones there. And then, on the other side of goaltending, hey, it's a deflection in front. You're not going to kill Eric Källgren for that. Otherwise, I thought he looked comfortable in there, and for a guy who is supposed to be this team's third goalie, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, you see New Jersey Devils have been playing with a third goalie. Vegas going with unknowns like Logan Thompson is among their tandem, but Boston having new goaltending. It's funny, if you voted for the Vezina Trophy, a lot of people would have Sorokin among the 3 candidates right now. Jake Ottinger, Dallas, another one that jumps up, but that's the kind. The Leafs goaltending seems to have settled down and been good enough. Great that Matt Murray was. Källgren's filled in capably, but Sorokin has got that next level goaltending right now.
Yeah, he certainly has. The Leafs will be in tough to get one past him, and they're going to need to get at least one past him because the Islanders have a 1-0 lead here at Scotiabank. Noah Dobson with a goal late in the first period to give the Islanders a lead. Leafs outshooting the Islanders. It is 9-7 there, but 1-0 on the scoreboard for New York where it matters. We are live here at Scotiabank Arena. Keep on listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
I'm Jamie. As an elementary school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover and succeed. They need a learning recovery plan that provides the focused and individual attention they deserve. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's knowmore.ca. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
On the Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling, it's best on best.
Great names going head-to-head.
It's about rivalries, 8 ends of drama, and 40 pounds of granite. Right on the button.
That's amazing.
And this year, new teams will be tested, and new rivalries will emerge.
Time to celebrate now.
Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling, all season long, only on Sportsnet.
We're 2 men and a truck, and we've got lots of men and lots of trucks. Whether you're planning a move to a new home or to a new office down the hall, big or small, we move them all. We even sell packing and moving supplies. But no matter what you need, we'll do it with a smile. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. So when you're planning your next move, call 2 men and a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Some ice dancing pairs synchronize their breathing to perform as one, the same way a Subaru synchronizes with you. Imagine your phone syncs, your playlist plays, your heart races as you feel the full-time traction. Here you are, moving gracefully as one. making every turn seem so effortless. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Look at you, smiling like a gold medalist. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon synchronicity.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a callback. You need a job. Express Employment Professionals can help. We'll connect you to the right company. We're committed to your success and never charge a fee to find you a job. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Find your location at expresspros.com or on the Express Jobs app.
Pavlov's dog proved the power of predictable results. And for that, Ivan Pavlov received the Nobel Prize. Now Nick Pavlov, broker Remax West, also receives awards. Also for predictable results. So have the award-winning Nick Pavlov real estate team provide a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
We all know no matter what, no one will ever tie your skates better than Mom did. This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs trailing the Islanders 1-0 after 20 minutes here at Scotiabank Arena. Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick with you for a couple more minutes before we're back for the second. As always, you like to take a look at the NHL scoreboard, brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook with 80 million members worldwide. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Gordo, 10 on the go tonight. Well, not on the go, but 10 in total tonight in the NHL.
Well, and the Juggernauts keep going. The Boston Bruins, the 3-1 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're on the road this time, but they've been perfect at home. And the New Jersey Devils, what's this, 35 in a row? No,
something
anyway.
Like that.
3-1 lead over Edmonton in the second. That's the other Juggernaut that's going. The Calgary Flames, hoping to be a Juggernaut once again. Every score is 3-1. They lead Philadelphia 3-1 right now. Winnipeg looks like a feisty one against Carolina. 1-0 lead for the Jets after one period of play over Carolina.
Yeah, it's Dylan woofing it, guys there. Perfetti getting robbed a couple of times, so a lot going on in that Jets Hurricanes game. Just picking up on what you said in Boston, all the familiar characters involved. Nick Paul getting the Lightning goal, David Krejci, and Nick Foligno with 2 of the 3 for the Bruins there. Boston, they continue to stay hot. Like you said, Devils exactly in the same space. Games coming up that are starting, one just about to get going. Dallas home to Colorado. That's an 8:30 puck drop. Well, we have the Canucks and Golden Knights with a 10:30 start, and also the 10:30 start is the Erik Karlsson Bowl. The Sharks home to the Senators there. Gordo, what are we looking for the Leafs in the second period? For me, it's kind of simple. Go back to the first 10 minutes of the first and do that again.
Yeah, no, it's that simple. And also, again, just if that fourth line got exposed against a high-power, high-octane first line for the New York Islanders, you got to make sure having last change, maybe a nice idea. You wanted them to provide some energy, but that was a mismatch. That's a 1-0 lead right now. So the big guns got to come ablazing about scoring goals. They got 5 against Buffalo. The Islanders not an easy team to score against, but they got to find some ways, and the best way, to your point, was the effort the first 8 or 9 minutes, not the last 11.
Leafs are looking for a goal. Mitch Marner looking to keep his point streak going. Maybe those two things have something in common. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the second period. Brent Gunning and Gord Stellick with you. We'll be back for the second intermission. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph have the call coming up next. Keep on listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
At Real Canadian Superstore, open your PC Optimum app now until November 30th to earn 25,000 points for every $100 spent on home, electronics, and more. That's like $25 in points. Wow. Super points, super deals. See Flyer for details.
Your mornings with the McDonald's Egg BLT McMuffin or the chicken.
The snow is blowing, and you're out there on the job. Make sure you're seen with Forcefield protective clothing. Forcefield has the clothing and gloves you need on the job, with high-vis jackets, parkas, hoodies, gloves, and more. Plus, with free shipping on orders over $49, it's easier than ever to stay safe and be seen. Forcefield protective clothing, safety apparel engineered for Canada. Visit highvissafety.ca. That's HIVIS safety.ca, and use code RADIO for 10% off your first order.
Make sure that your business documents are for your recipient's eyes and no one else's. Trust Record Express for industry-leading standards in secure storage, scanning, and shredding. With fast, same-day service, flexible contract terms, and all the support you need to safeguard your confidential information. Visit recordexpress.ca today for document storage and shredding special offers. That's Record, XPRESS.ca. Record Express. Store, scan, shred Canadian.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hi, I need to realign my chakras, and I think consolidating my debts into one easy payment would really help. I'd like a loan.
Do you own your home?
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Namaste.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
FSRA license 12616.
A full season of Mark Giordano? Yeah, we'll take that. Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Joe Bowen along with Jim Ralph back here at the Scotiabank Arena. And the New York Islanders with a 1-0 lead. Dobson from Aho and Barzell at 15-21. Maple Leafs had 21 attempts at goal. 7 shots, 6 attempts blocked, and 8 that missed, including a post. And that was the Islanders, 21 attempts at goal. 15 for the Maple Leafs. 9, 3, and 3, and one of those, of course, is the post. Well, the Leafs off to the great start of this hockey game and couldn't find one to get past Ilya Sorokin and really struggled the last 15 minutes of the opening period. Shot down into the zone, around the boards it goes, chumped around to the near side, and it will be the Islanders getting it out at center ice as Parise got it to the lead blue line. Liljegren with a tight turn to elude one. Puck comes up on the wing, and it is shoveled ahead to Tavares. He got it in across the line. Nicely fed back to Sandin on the wing, and then the shot was deflected harmlessly wide, and out at center ice it comes. Marner was knocked down from behind. Puck still free, and now shot down into the Toronto zone by the Islanders, who are changing. Leafs get it back ahead. Tavares is by himself. Long cross-ice pass looking for Matthews that didn't connect. And the Islanders have it again in their own zone, and a long shoot-in. Took a little bit of a strange carom there, and Shalgren had to be cautious with that one. Nylander got it ahead off Bunting into the zone. Down into the Islander corner goes Bunting. Back of the net, Matthews. Matthews shielding the puck. Holds and sends it back to the net for Bunting. Bunting coming out in front. Can't get a shot. Into the slot. Matthews' drive went off a leg and wide. Cleared off the boards to the line. Matthews keeping it in. Down the wall, Bunting. And Matthews, who comes out of the corner to Nylander. Nylander curls. Bangs it back to the point to Hall. Far side, and now Matthews with a shot, and that didn't make it through. Traffic in front of the net. Islanders will play it back into the Toronto zone. Hall able to free it up for David Kampf. Long rink-wide pass to the line, and in for Toronto's Malgin. Malgin, though, can't get it away from Sebastian Aho. Aho with speed down the right wing. Gets to the line and shoots it in. Down the boards into the near corner in the Toronto zone. Up on the wing, chipped to the line and out. A quick pass for Malgin, one man back. Malgin in with a shot. And that was steered aside on the angle from Sorokin. Malgin with it again. Tried to send it towards the net, it was blocked. Jordy Ben sends it down into the corner, and it's turned aside, and now around back of the net, it'll come up on the near wing. Chipped along the boards there by Riley. Camp trying to play it out in front for Aston Reese. That was too well covered, and Ben has to go back into his own zone. Up ahead for Riley. Riley shooting it in. Leafs are changing on the go. back to the blue line. Just kept in there. My mistake. It was not just kept in there by Justin Hall. Offside whistle down.
Well, they started the second period like they started the opening period. Great offensive zone pressure, but still unable to get anything clean on goal to Sorokin. Austin Matthews still without a shot on goal here in the... Nope, they just gave him one the last shift. Did not have a shot in the first period, but has the Leaf shot here in the second.
15 to 17% success rate on shot attempts by Austin Matthews in the previous 3 seasons. He's only at 3.2 this year. You know that's going to improve. But the Leafs by Eric Källgren, and into the corner it goes. Hall had it taken away. A deflection off Barzal went wide of the Leaf goal, and a long lead pass gets ahead to Kerfoot. Kerfoot in over the line, dropping it back now for Tavares. Tavares centers! Oh, and Kerfoot never got a stick on it, and the Leafs have to take it back to center ice. Liljegren pumping it right back in again. Järnkrok got in over the line, then Engvall couldn't help him out. Järnkrok after a loose puck to poke it into the near corner. Liljegren is there. Got it freed up there for Engvall. Engvall back of the net. Engvall to Holmberg, back to the point. Liljegren trying to send it in. It's the old Swedish contingent out there now for the Leafs. Here's Engvall, and a penalty is coming here to the Islanders. So the Swedish contingent is broken up by Austin Matthews arriving on the scene as the goaltender to the bench. Matthews with a one-timer on the far side, and Nylander had it knocked off the shoulder of goaltender Sorokin. Back to the blue line. It'll be touched here by Barzal, and the Maple Leafs will get their first power play opportunity of the game.
Boy, a great attempt by Willie Nylander. Austin Matthews sets him up for the one-timer in the left wing circle, but Sorokin was able to get over and take that away from him. Ilya Sorokin's numbers are pretty impressive. Only 7-5 in the season in the win-loss column, but 2.41 goals against average, 925 save percentage coming in. These are almost identical to the numbers he had all of last season.
Face off in the circle to the right of Ilya Sorokin. Draw one by Toronto. Marner, far half boards, into the corner. Nylander, return to Marner. Marner in front of the net, they score! Tavares! A tic-tac-toe, and Johnny Tavares, right in the office, snaps it in behind Sorokin to tie the game at 1.
John Tavares in the little bumper spot in the slot. Austin Matthews was off the far post, but it was Tavares that got the little pass and then just rifles it. After Willie Nylander from the goal line. To the right is Sorokin, threw it back out into the circle. And John Tavares just rips this at a one-timer. And Adam Pelech upset, I think, with himself that he wasn't able to get a stick in the lane. And the Leafs have tied it up 1 with a power play goal early in the second period.
130 goals in 300 games with the Maple Leafs. And the Leaf captain on the power play makes it 1-1. And Mitch Marner's point streak hits 13, which is a career high equaling amount. Centering pass, knocked down and smothered by Källgren for a face-off. This period is brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only.
One of the things we could bet on, remember the last couple of games, you said we picked which team would get a power play in the last 3 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not being smart.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, because you're very intelligent about this little statistic.
What do you mean? What do you mean about this little statistic?
There's a lot of other stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know. But see, I was smart enough to pick up on that. So I got that going for me.
Yeah, dude, that's right. I got news for you. Albert Einstein's University has not called either one of us to be professors. Sir, Albert Einstein University. Here's Marner in with a shot, and that's knocked away to the far boards.
I'm going to guess no.
No. Parise gets it out. It's be a hell of a university, though.
Yeah. Right beside the University of Jethro Bodine.
Here are the Leafs with Marner and over the line. Oh, and he had a man going to the net. As Holmberg went to the net with his stick on the ice, and Marner tried to hit it and just missed. Sent down into the Leaf zone. A 1-1 tie. Nylander and Marner the assists on the captain's 11th goal of the season. Hall gets it ahead for Engvall. Pass it over the line for Toronto to Engvall. Shooting. Oh, and a good wrist shot. Just missed another shot. Kicked away nicely by Sorokin. Leafs are buzzing now. Here's a pass back to Hall. Hall works it back to the point of drive. And that went off a leg as Järnkrok let it go. Leafs against Pollock. The puck comes free. The Leafs are onto it again. Matthews holding. Rink wide. Kept in by Ben. Jordy Ben plays it around into the corner. Banging in there as the puck comes free to Barzal. Barzal will get it ahead to Martin. Martin doesn't get it out. Here's Matthews with a quick shot. Blocker save made by Sorokin. Bunting. A pass across in front. And a one-timer there by Riley. Went just wide, and he slams his stick on the end boards in disgust for not hitting the net. Looking for his first goal of the season. To go along with 16 assists. Barzal intercepts a pass, then gave it away. Nylander roaring back in with Bunting. Nylander to Bunting! Couldn't get it in front. Nylander again with it, but he hits the referee. Taken to the boards by Romanov. Puck comes free to Bunting. Off the wall for Matthews, who dives to keep it alive. Bunting down into the corner. Unable to get to it. Islanders will get it to the line and just get it out. And now on the right wing side, Barzal is across into the Leaf zone. To the left wing side, it comes to Romanov. A shot went wide. Barzal traps right wing side in front of the goal. Good pad save made by by Källgren there as it came right into the slot. Leafs recover the loose puck, play it off the boards, and it'll be an icing call here against Toronto with 11:48. The game has opened up just a tad, has it not, Mr. Ralph?
Well, 11 shots on goal for the New York Islanders, but I'm going to say Källgren's made, 3 or 4 outstanding stops from dangerous scoring areas. He hasn't really had a lot from the outside. By the way, of the 11 goals John Tavares has scored, 7 of them have come with a man advantage.
You read that note ahead of me, didn't you?
And I got it written down here.
Do you know what that 7 is? Ties him for the league lead power play goals.
Huh.
I gotta give Armin credit for that too.
Yeah.
And does some work here rather than just sitting and eating popcorn. Round back of the net, the Islanders. Nelson after the loose puck gets it back to the point. Near side, Pellick couldn't get it in front of the net, but then got a return feed and a shot whistled off a leg and deflected wide. Round the boards, it's going to come to the near side. Kept alive there, sent in on goal, gobbled up by Marner. Marner launching it high, hoping for a little reverse juice here. And he got a pretty good benefit call from the linesman to rule icing is off. Islanders back at center. And on the right side, and a shot knocked away by Källgren. It comes around back of the net. Trying to get to it again was Palmieri. The Leafs get it to the line and in. Here's Kerfoot into the corner. Bunted it around on the boards for Tavares. Back to the point it comes. Trying to keep the puck in there was Giordano, but as he sent it along the line, it was outside the blue line. And I think Hall did well just to redirect that into the stands. because he might have been trapped if he hadn't gotten a piece of that. It is a 1-1 tie, the Leafs and the Islanders. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Bet365, the world's favorite sportsbook. Place your bets before or after the game starts on the biggest sports like hockey, basketball. Number 1. Disclaimer, must be 19 years or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
Some ice dancing pairs synchronize their breathing to perform as one, the same way a Subaru synchronizes with you. Imagine your phone syncs, your playlist plays, your heart races as you feel the full-time traction. Here you are, moving gracefully as one, making every turn seem so effortless. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Look at you, smiling like a gold medalist. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon synchronicity.
This season on Sportsnet,
National Hockey League has returned.
Doesn't get any better than that.
All the incredible,
Theatrical beauty from Connor McDavid.
all the That's why you gotta watch
That was amazing.
every game on Sportsnet.
Quiet but deadly. TJ Brody sits in silence, always ready to attack. Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Enoch Mwambo of the Toronto Argonauts here with the Grey Cup. And they're going to have a big gathering at Maple Leaf Square on Thursday at 11 o'clock to help celebrate with the Argonaut fans. So if you're in the area, drop by. And that was as exciting a football game as I've watched in a long time. And
you thought the first minute of the fourth quarter and it was over, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Robbie Smith, though, went from GOAT to hero in the space of about 30 seconds. A face masking call that would have ended the game had he not grabbed the face mask. And then comes through the line and blocks what would have been a game-winning field goal. Here's Hall coming to center. The O was for Malgin, who got lifted off his skates without a penalty call. Puck down into the Islander zone. And played around by Pelech to the far side. Lead pass for Palmieri gets down into the Leaf end. Sandin kicking it along the boards. Nicely ahead to Matthews, but his pass goes off Nylander and will turn into an icing. So Dobson in the first period, Tavares in the second, and we are tied 1-1.
That is one of the, I would say, odd things, I think, at this time of year. So Tavares, 11 of the year, the 7 of those on the power play. Austin Matthews has 8. 6 of those have been on the power play. So 5-on-5, the Leafs really have not done a lot of offense out of the big boys.
Draw one by the Islanders. Pelech plays into the far corner. Matthews took his man down. Puck doesn't get cleared. Nelson in the corner. Tied up there by Giordano. Giordano has the puck secured against the wall with Lee. This could be a while, folks. They are wedged in there. This is, enough. Oh, now the puck does come free, and it's played in front of the net. And Pelech couldn't get a shot away. Islanders have it again. At the blue line. Fed back now for Pelech. He got a shot that went high over top of the Leaf goal. Leafs playing it on the boards, but now a high stick making contact with the puck. And it'll come outside the line as the Islanders are guilty of that infraction with 8:47. Thought we might be able to get the rest of the game played with those guys. That was not moved.
No, that's okay if you got a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, that's
run out the clock for 30 minutes.
You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with tools to do incredible things.
Check. Saving big in the process. Check. The Sport Check Black Friday event is here with savings up to 60% on Canada's top brands. See in store or sportcheck.ca for details. Some exclusions may apply.
In Ontario, we already have enough land for housing, but we don't have enough greenbelt. The Greenbelt's food, jobs, and clean water are counted on by millions of people. So why is it being given away to less than a dozen developers? Doug Ford and his developer friends don't need the Greenbelt, but we do. Tell your MPP, hands off the Greenbelt at saveourgreenbelt.ca. Brought to you by Small Change Fund.
Share more with family with CIBC Global Money Transfer. We know achieving your goals in Canada happened with the support of family. With CIBC Global Money Transfer, we have zero transfer fees, so more of your money goes to thanking those who matter most. Share more in over 120 countries, and now get up to $300 back on your first transfer with promo code GMT Event. It's our way to share too. For details, go to CIBC.com/GMT Event. Conditions and CIBC foreign exchange rates apply.
Doubters gonna doubt, haters gonna hate. William Nylander will be here, putting up numbers. Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph back here in Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs won, the Islanders won. And this is pretty commonplace. Tight, close scoring, bouncing puck in on goal. Knocked away there by Shalgren. Leafs have really not had any, well, I guess, the 5-2 game wasn't that way until later in the third period, I suppose, or late in the second.
Yeah, a 3-0 lead against Buffalo, was the closest, I guess, to the Leafs having control of the game from start to finish.
This has been a tight one here again. Islanders up ahead for Lee. Anders Lee with a shot from well out and on the angle, and Shalgren had no problem with that as it's cleared out at center ice. Sent in on a delay, brought out by Austin Matthews. Matthews to the line, dropping it off for Bunting. Sent it towards the net. Sandin had gone to the net trying to get a deflection. Now a long shot goes wide. Liljegren into the center, got it in front of the net, went off the goaltender Sorokin. And the Islanders get to center ice but can't get around Matthews. And then on a sprawling play, it's knifed into the zone by Kyle Palmieri. Leafs start out again. Engvall with speed down the right wing. Cuts to the middle of the ice, goes wide, and then sent the shot high and wide on the near side. Riley shoots it right back in again. Engvall down the boards, got it back to the point to Hall. Returned on the wall for Engvall. Engvall doesn't shoot it, looks for Riley. Riley in front of the net, big save. Oh, what a save that was by Sorokin. And he's going to be able to cover up on it. Morgan Riley made a nifty little pass in front. Was that Järnkrok that had the chance?
Järnkrok had the first chance, and then Pierre Engvall followed up with another attempt to get it past the Islander goaltender, who probably made his two best stops of the night. Left pad on two by Järnkrok, and then was able to seal off Engvall's attempt as well, as the Leafs have built the shot advantage now to 19-14 over the Islanders. But that was a great play by Morgan Riley, sneaking down the left side into the circle and finding Järnkrok wide open at the top of the paint.
Bounced out into the neutral zone. Kerfoot shoots it right back in again. Marner will pursue. Round back of the net. Marner stole the puck. Comes back on the wall, but now the Islanders have shot it down the ice and just icing. Courtesy the hustle of Morgan Riley. And it'll come back into the Islander zone. 6:38 to play in the second period. John Tavares' power play goal has tied the game at 1. Face off to the right. Tavares taking the draw, scrummed it, and the Islanders control. Trying to get around the checking of Marner. Pass intercepted and brought out by Willie. Nylander to center. Going to send a long backhand into the near corner. Matthews almost got there to take it away from the defenseman. Now it's up against the inboards. Matthews digs it out. Matthews in along the boards, back to the point it'll come. Liljegren at the right point. Got a shot blocked, then sends it in and scores! Deflected in front of the goal. And is that Austin Matthews? It is. Who gets his stick on it and gives the Leafs a 2-1 lead.
Well, not the patented bullet snapshot under the crossbar we've come to expect from Austin Matthews, but an even strength goal going to the net and a low, hard shot from the right point that Matthews is able to get a stick on as Liljegren knows exactly what he's doing. He spots Austin Matthews, and Matthews basically with one hand on his stick redirects it up and over the blocking glove of Sorokin to give the Leafs a 2-1 lead.
9th of the season for the Rocket Richard Trophy winner and most valuable player in this league. And the Leafs have the 2-1 lead. Played down into the Islander zone. Austin Reese couldn't come up with it. Leafs have it back at center. Al Malgin on the right wing. Took a hit there from Romanov, but played it deep into the Islander zone. Gobbled up by New York. Bounced out at center ice. Swatted to the left wing side for the veteran defenseman. And Giordano sends it around on the near side for Hall. Hall and Giordano have been a very effective pair. Here's Malgin trying to find Camp, but it didn't work. Giordano sends it along back of the net and played out into the center ice area, then stopped there by Holmberg, and he will regroup it. Giordano up ahead for Yarncrook. Into the far corner he goes. Puts the brakes on at the half wall. Now into the slot, trying to get a shot away, but a whistle is gone.
And the Leafs, are they picking up a penalty? It's the linesman now that has jumped into the zone.
Don't see anybody coming to the penalty box. Matthews from Maybe the net.
There we go.
I think we have some extra people in the booth.
You're looking everywhere saying the equipment, somebody's hurt.
Yeah.
Nobody's got their arm up.
No. One of the most amazing things the other night was when Mark Giordano scored the shorthanded goal, and it became known that it was his 13th shorthanded goal from a defense position. Some of the others that we mentioned, Mark Howe leads that at 28, Paul Coffey at 20, Ray Bourque 16, that guy Bobby Orr 16, Giordano 13.
I'm going to guess that the first one he's had with the net off, the Morris.
Possibly. Yeah. We'll go with it.
We'll get Armin to look that up.
Yeah. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Pavlov's dog proved that irresistible incentives bring predictable results. Now, Nick Pavlov, broker RE/MAX West, is proving it again. With perfect staging, pinpoint accurate pricing, intimate Toronto neighborhood knowledge, the Nick Pavlov real estate team will achieve a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
I'm Johnny. As a high school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover from pandemic learning disruptions. Schools work best when the government listens to and respects the expertise of teachers like me. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's knowmore.ca.
A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
If you got the need for speed, you got the need for this Swede. Rasmus Sandin, Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Second period brought to you by Express Pro. Make hiring easier. Get the puck to the line, but not out. Nylander had a man in front, but couldn't get the puck there, and that was Matthews who was stationed in front as it comes to center ice. And off a wing it comes to Barzal. Barzal in on the left wing. Eludes Nylander. Works into the corner. Spinning move. It was so spinning that he spun himself right into the ice. And sometimes these guys are so good on their edges, they're too good. Barzal really went for a sprawl. Shot from a sharp angle. Sorokin stopped that. 3:45 left in the second period. Yarncrook into the corner for Engvall. Into the slot area, and Yarncrook, as is wont to do, got it away in a hurry, but it was blocked. Doesn't stay on his stick very long, does it? Played down into the Islander zone. Icing is going to be called here against the New York Islanders. Trying to score 4 goals is the magic number for the Isles. When they've scored 4, they've done it in 10 of their 19 games and are 9-1-0. Going to take a little work to get 4 here tonight.
From a Leaf standpoint, scoring over 3 goals a game has been a bit of a rarity. It's only happened 4 times, but most recently, the last time out against the Buffalo Sabres in the 5-2 win.
Sandin off a face-off win down the left wing, shoots it in, and then goes after his shoot in. Thinks better of pursuing, gets back to his position. The Leafs on the boards with numbers, trying to free it up. Kerfoot got it back, but it is intercepted and flipped high to center ice. Liljegren being chased hard, but he'll get it away there from Brock Nelson. Liljegren in the near corner. Picked up his first assist of the season on the on the goal by Matthews. Sandin draws another assist on the goal. Played down into the corner. Sandin against the wall, tying up his man. Bailey unable to free it up, and Marner will skate around back of the net, chased by Beauvillier. Marner waiting for teammates to change. Still has the puck back in his own zone. Goes to the side of the net to try to elude Clutterbuck, who's dancing around in front of the net. And
looks like the controller disconnected in the video game.
Here's Marner coming through center. He's across the line. Drops it back. Malgin a shot. And that was stopped by the glove of Sorokin. Marner to the bench. That was a cat and mouse effort. And the cat was running all over the place, and the mouse had the puck back at the net and was just content to watch the cat work all of the kinks out. That make any sense at all? Probably not.
Kind of backed yourself into a corner there, though.
I did.
I was trying to help. But...
No, you weren't. You just sat there and did nothing. Icing call here against the Islanders. You see what I'm in trouble?
I know.
Well, no. My mind's going in different directions here. You're not helping.
I was right up with you up until about the last 6 or 7 words. I was saying, I'm with you. You know, I can see that.
Yeah, because I have a cat.
Yeah.
I've got 2 cats. Yeah. Now, they don't have any mice.
But then by the time I realized we were going off the rails, I wasn't prepared.
No.
Usually, if you let me know early you're in trouble, I can jump in. That was a little late. You were going pretty good.
From now on, I'll just kick you.
I better get my pads on.
Yes, you're going to be bruised. Puck down into the near corner in the Islander zone. Martin ties it up and is able to skate it down the left wing boards. Liljegren couldn't tie him up, but all of the action trying to get through the neutral zone by Matt Martin ended up putting it into an offside position. Now Mayfield has got one of the Leafs over there. Is that Sandin?
You want to take another guess?
Oh, Bunting. Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. There was an 8 there. I couldn't see whether there was a 3 or a 5 attached to it.
Now, we don't usually have to wait till this late in the game for somebody to try to go after Michael Bunting. With 1:23 to go here, the second period. Bunting's coming over to the box. Now Mayfield has got to come with him. I don't know what happened prior to that, but certainly seemed that, wow, Bunting took a couple of shots when he was down, and then kind of went back after Mayfield. And then Mayfield followed bunting up ice, and the two eventually wrestled themselves into the New York Islander bench. So I think
both are going to go to the orange tray and the towels in the dressing room with 1:23 to go, and they'll play 4-on-4 here with coincident minor penalties, I would assume. Although the Leaf penalty door is still open, is there an additional penalty coming to Toronto?
I don't believe so. We got Matthews and Willie Nylander out for Toronto, along with Morgan Riley and Timothy Liljegren. So that is their 4. Cal Clutterbuck has just gone to the Islander room as well. And I don't believe that's penalty related, as each team, 4 men out on the ice.
So 5-on-5 hockey here. So there must be shot into the Toronto zone.
The penalties to the Islanders, number 24, Scott Mayfield, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. And to number 15, Cal Clutterbuck, 2 minutes for roughing. To the Maple Leafs, number 15, Michael Bunting, 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh, well. Okay, that's why we're at 5-on-1.
Tell that mouse and cat thing again.
Shot down into the Leaf zone. 5 of them are out there in blue uniforms. Shot down into the Islander zone. Round on the boards, it goes for Kerfoot. They jam in against the wall. Kerfoot is able to get it free, but the Islanders break it out. Right wing side, trying to work in on a backhand Beauvillier, and that was sent wide of the net on the short side. Centering pass, good block there by Sandin as it comes back to the point. Dozen seconds left in the period. A shot kicked away by Sjögren. Now Hall around back of the net. 6 seconds left. A glance at the clock. He'll send it back behind the net for Sandin, and the Leafs will take a lead to the dressing room while playing 5-on-5 at the end of the period. And it's 2-1.
But they got the extra fellas out there at the end. That leaves it in a shot advantage of 22-15. But I tell you something, Eric Sjögren again came up with some huge stops at timely moments. The Leafs did not give up a lot in the sense that they were back on their heels, and the Islanders got all kinds of offensive zone time. But there were 2 or 3 instances in that second period where Sjögren had to come up with a big stop, and he made it and allowed the Leafs to come back and take the lead here in the second period.
It is 2-1 in favor of the Maple Leafs. And Brent Gunning and Gord Stellick coming along with our second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hi, I'm looking to upgrade my kitchen.
Bathroom, Mom. We need an extra bathroom.
Emily, hang up.
Ugh, this is so unfair.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I need a loan for some home renos.
Well, do you own your home?
Of course. I'm the owner.
Then you're approved. Enjoy your new kitchen.
Bathroom!
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
Visitor license 12616. Ugh.
So I was just at Shoppers Drug Mart, and they have like hundreds of gifts. I got an electric toothbrush, new fragrances, toys, and I got PC Optimum points. My holiday shopping is done. You should totally check it out.
Black Friday is on now at Mark's. From November 17th to 23rd, save up to 70% in-store and online, featuring great savings on jackets, sweaters, boots, workwear, and more. Visit Mark's in-store or at marks.com to shop and save.
Crestwood Preparatory College inspires excellence in academics and sports.
It's a school where teachers make the difference.
A school that builds a student's confidence, develops effective study habits, and encourages creativity.
A school that enhances the traditional classroom setting with leading-edge technology, connecting students with the world around them, resulting in admission to the best universities.
When your child feels safe and respected, it gives them the confidence to take risks on and off the ice. Book a private tour at crestwood.on.ca.
It's early access to the Bay's Black Friday sale with up to 60% off, including clearance. Right now, you'll find amazing deals, like up to 60% off women's and men's outerwear from DKNY, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and more.
Plus, shop confidently with 90-day returns and the Bay's price match guarantee. So head over to your local Hudson's Bay store or thebay.com and get ahead on your holiday shopping. It's Black Friday at the Bay. Exclusions and conditions apply.
At Toyota, our vehicles have always had quality and durability built right in.
Because I'll slam this car door a gazillion times.
Quality means everything to us because it means everything to you. Order a new 2023 RAV4 LE all-wheel drive from $34,171. Dealer may charge additional fees up to $1,221. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today. It's time to Toyota.
Hi, it's Fido. Are you ready for Black Friday deals? Because we got some incredible offers on select phones and plans, so you can score your favorites at their most affordable. Select plans even include data overage protection, so you can be data confident. Wait, is that true?
Yeah. Where are you going?
I'm going to Fido to get a Black Friday deal.
Can you finish the ad first?
Go to Fido.ca or a Fido store now. Fido, at your side.
In life, there are those who do and those who do more. Just like F-150. Doing more is part of our DNA. It's why F-Series has been Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 56 years. We don't raise the bar. We are the bar. Right now, get 1.49% APR purchase financing for 72 months on select new 2022 F-150 models. Your Toronto area Ford stores have them available now, but they won't last. Get your 2022 F-150 today. Visit your nearby Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
What a wonderful pass from the magician, and Matthews has scored.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthews digs it out. Matthews in along the boards, back to the point it'll come. Liljegren at the right point. Got a shot blocked, then sent it in and scores! Deflected in front of the goal. And is that Austin Matthews? It is. Who gets his stick on it and gives the Leafs a 2-1 lead.
A deft touch from Austin Matthews does put the Leafs on top, but we can't take anything away from Timothy Liljegren on that play. That was a shot pass through and through, perfectly timed. The little fluttery wrister that Matthews was able to get a stick on gives the Leafs a 2-1 lead. Gordo, once again, a lot to like out of that period for the Leafs.
Great period. We said they had to get control back like they did the first 7-8 minutes of the game, and then they lost it. They did right away. 22-15. They've outshot the Islanders after 2 periods of play. So they got 13 last period. And very quickly on the power play goal, John Tavares now up there tied with most power play goals and lead with everybody. And then that play, and it seems like the whole crowd, too, just was relieved. I don't know about the crisis of Austin Matthews not scoring. I guess people that picked he was going to score 70 goals this year probably know the math isn't that good. But, he's been creating some chances. He's been involved, and this was the kind of deflection you don't normally see as much, but a nice deflection. And like you said, Liljegren making a great play. And it's still just a 1-goal game, but it's been a real entertaining game, and it's been a great team effort by the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and I want to pick up what you said about the puck movement on the first power play goal there, but I know he doesn't get a point there. I'm going to give Matthews some credit on that one as well. He is set up kind of in the one-timer spot. His gravity just pulls people towards him, and it makes those beautiful passes. Was Marner to Nylander to Tavares there, bang, 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 and it just it gives them a little more room to operate. And, neither of those guys need any room to operate. You give them a little because of the space Matthews occupies, and it's just, this is how the power play is supposed to look on that goal.
Yeah, and we got it out of the way. Mitch Marner's consecutive point-a-game streak continues. Those are always kind of little quirky things that are out there, so a whole lot of positives going on, but you're right. The assist that wasn't, and it just showed that kind of play, digging for the puck. And, really in a lot of ways, John Tavares is the guy, symbolic about that. Just his digging kind of style. It's got very contagious. He doesn't have the speed of the other players, but yeah, you just got him flying. And then you got to remember, the Islanders have some speed too. Matt Barzal and a few others every now and then, but the Leafs did a good job keeping them in check. There really weren't all those any odd man rushes per se. I don't think. Shulgren maybe tested once or twice, but nice, a nice kind of Nice kind of, just talking about leave Mitch on D. They did that in the second period on the power. Well, this time's on the power play, but anyway, or just when they were changing coming after. But anyway, that's always one of the little things. I remember that happened a couple of games ago, and they're just playing it here on the TV about Mitch on the D. So they're doing a little bit of everything.
Well, I wonder if he says, hey, Nico Hischier and me one-on-one, I don't like that matchup. Me and Anders Lee, maybe I'm a little more comfortable there. Yeah, that's going to be something we're going to watch. Obviously, Marner's usage and, a couple of things from the Islanders' perspective there. You mentioned Barzal. Nothing surprising me tonight because you know the type of player he is, but when you have heard his skating specifically kind of compared to that McDavid-Marner area in terms of either the straight line speed or the agility, you've seen both out of Barzal tonight. It is easy to see why he is talked about as the special player that he is.
Yeah, and he wasn't a second-round pick. He was a later first-round pick, but I kind of use Braden Point as an example, just those, guys that aren't, Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, number one overall picks, and the moment they hit it, there's a little bit of a deceptiveness about it. But yeah, really nice kind of skilled player. He's going to be interesting coming up for contract as well, because he did the bridge contract, which few have done and most have tried to go big. So anyway, that's not Kyle Dubas or anyone on the Toronto Maple Leafs side's worry, but some skilled players out on that New York Islanders side as well, Brent.
And then we talked quickly about the goaltending. Shalgren, more than capable enough, but Sorokin, he reared his ugly head a couple times in that period, including it felt like he had to make 4 or 5 excellent saves in the span of 3 seconds there. Just a ton of great looks, and he stood tall. He has been exactly as advertised tonight.
Well, if the Islanders come back to win it, I'm sure he may still be one of the 3 stars the way he's playing right now. But just chatting about, Leaf goaltending's been good enough. Matt Murray coming back, not playing tonight, but those games has been, great to see him play at a high level. Samsonov playing at a high level when he was healthy, but Sorokin's been at about as high a level as you could go in the NHL right now as far as early season goaltending goes.
Yeah, brought a .925 save percentage into tonight's game, and if he keeps playing the way he's looked, that's not going to take too much of a ding at all. Leafs up 2-1 on the Islanders after 40 minutes here at Scotiabank. John Tavares and Austin Matthews with the goal scorers. Keep on listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Some ice dancing pairs synchronize their breathing to perform as one, the same way a Subaru synchronizes with you. Imagine your phone syncs, your playlist plays, your heart races as you feel the full-time traction. Here you are, moving gracefully as one, making every turn seem so effortless. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Look at you, smiling like a gold medalist. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon synchronicity.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
We're Bet365, the world's favorite sports book. Place your bets before or after the game starts on the biggest sports, like hockey, basketball, baseball, football, MMA, and soccer.
Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
On the Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling, it's best on best.
Great names going head-to-head.
It's about rivalries, 8 ends of drama, and 40 pounds of granite. Right on the button.
That's amazing.
And this year, new teams will be tested, and new rivalries will emerge.
Time to celebrate now.
Pinty's Grand Slam of Curling, all season long, only on Sportsnet.
Ontario has a plan to get students caught up. It starts with kids back in the classroom all year. With sports, clubs, and field trips. It includes new tutoring supports and teaching new experiences in science, technology, engineering, and math. So students have the skills they need for the jobs of tomorrow. See our plan at ontario.ca/catchup. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Hi, I'm Hugh Heron from Heathwood Homes. I want to talk to you about our great country, Canada. It's a land of opportunity and a place I call home. For 50 years, Heathwood has been committed to building each home with the very best new technologies, ensuring that your home will be more energy efficient and sustainable than ever. Visit our communities at heathwood.com. At Heathwood, you will be home at last.
Bill Nye, the science guy. Ain't got nothing on Willie Nye, the hockey guy. Toronto Maple Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Draw one by Toronto. Marner far half boards into the corner. Nylander return to Marner. Marner in front of the net. They score. Tavares. A tic-tac-toe, and Johnny Tavares right in the office snaps it in behind Sorokin to tie the game at 1.
It is hard to overstate how pretty the Leafs' first goal of the night was. Austin Matthews, not nearly as pretty, but just as important, arguably more so. The Leafs up 2-1 on the Islanders after 40 minutes here. We always like to take a look at the NHL scoreboard, brought to you by Bet365. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or game outcomes across many different sports. 19+. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Gordo, we've got a ton going on tonight.
Yeah, we do lots of goals. Boston, Tampa Bay Lightning. Boston up by 2, 5-3. The Juggernaut looks like it's continuing. 8 minutes left in the third period. New Jersey Devils, talk about Juggernauts. Looks like they're continuing. 5 minutes left in their game. They're up 4-2 over Edmonton. And Calgary has the 3-2 lead over Philadelphia with about 6 minutes left in the third period. Now, you said in that Edmonton game, Jack Campbell, he's as if he's not having bad luck. He's having, what, no luck?
Well, last time I think we were here doing a game, we said he referred to his performance as pathetic. And when it rains, it pours. He is sitting on the bench, not playing tonight. Eats a puck in the head, had to leave the bench. It has just been a brutal start for Jack Campbell in Edmonton. Obviously, people here wish him nothing but the best. A lot of fans in this building. So, yeah, it's really not going well. And then I'll sneak in as well. Cale Makar getting on the scoreboard. He is the fastest defenseman to 200 points, doing it in just under 200 games. He picks up his 5th of the season to give the Avalanche a 1-0 lead on the Stars. That is Gord Stellick. I'm Brent Gunning. We will be back for Leafs Nation postgame after the third period. Leafs and Islanders continue. Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph have the call next. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
When they go low, we go low. I'm Mark Mandelson, and it's Black Friday at Bay Bluer Radio. Our lowest prices of the year on top-rated Sony OLED TVs. I love my Sony, and I've got one for you, too.
When they go fast, we go slow. Personal attention, expert advice, one customer at a time. In-store, online, or on the phone.
There's only one Bay Bluer Radio. The right sound for the right price.
Find a great deal at North Toronto Auction this weekend. Friday at noon. Bidding starts online for snowmobiles, ATVs, travel trailers, miscellaneous equipment, off-site vehicles, and non-runners. Then Saturday, it's the public live auction. Bidding starts at 9 a.m. Find cars, trucks, SUVs, and commercial and industrial equipment. But wait, it's not over yet. Online bidding goes till Monday at noon. Bid early and bid often at NorthTorontoAuction.com. Preview the lineup, register to bid, and learn more at NorthTorontoAuction.com.
So. Keeping consistent, we roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Grow your career and expertise by working with some of the world's most advanced machines and heavy equipment technologies. SMS Equipment. Big machines, bigger careers. Apply now at smsequipment.com.
With TELUS, you're a part of something bigger. We are helping make the world a better place by using our technology for good. TELUS Health is innovating to help make good health and well-being easier for all. From field to fork, TELUS Agriculture is improving our global food system. And we're investing in sustainable technologies to protect our planet. You can learn more at TELUS.com/purpose. Join us and let's make the future friendly.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
The power play clicking on all cylinders as they jam one home.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs carry a lead into the third period against the New York Islanders as 2 goals in the second stanza, one from John Tavares and the other from Austin Matthews. has the Leafs out in front by a score of 2-1. And when leading after 2 periods of play, the Leafs are 6-0-2, and the Islanders, when trailing, are 3-6.
I would have thought maybe the Islanders would be even better than that, considering they've got 30 third-period goals. That's most third-period goals in the National Hockey League. I wanted to say that it was great to see some people, especially through COVID and everything else, who had a break from regular people you saw around the rinks. Greg Dvorsky is here. Brother Paul is the off-ice official. Greg retired after the bubble time. He's had back surgery and is here because Brother Paul is the off-ice supervisor for the National Hockey League, is working the game
he's
tonight.
Running shotgun for him because he's bigger.
So it's but great to see him as well. And I remember when we first got moved off the charters, Greg was the one that said, look, this is what hotels you stay at. This is what airline you fly.
Yeah.
We had a lot of advice from the officials in the good old days.
You know who else is here tonight, too, that I haven't seen in a while, is Mike Eastwood, former Leaf, who is now a scout doing pro scouting for the Anaheim Ducks. So you're right. Lose contact, right? Here's Marner in with a shot off the face-off to start this third period. Kept in by Liljegren at the point. Leafs defend the goal to our right, and the Islanders to the left. Puck down into the far corner. The penalized players are still in the penalty box as the double minors are ticking off. And the Islanders, the puck comes right in front of the net and went off a skate. And Ilya Sorokin had to be paying attention and then quick to get down on that and hold for a faceoff.
That was Dobson, the defenseman, actually, as the goal for the Islanders in the first period, that had it bounce off his stick. Might have been Alex Kerfoot. Got a stick in there as well, but Sorokin had no problem covering up on the short side.
Leafs next action Wednesday night. The New Jersey Devils will entertain the Leafs at the Prudential Center in downtown New Jersey. Here's a wraparound attempt, came into the slot area, kept in there by Riley as it goes down into the corner. Riley coming off the corner boards with a backhand on the top of the net. Oh my! Okay, you can't get it any closer going in than that. That was right on the goalpost, just laying on the roof of the net.
Well, it glanced off the shoulder of Sorokin first, his left shoulder up onto the crossbar and rolled down, and we got a collision.
That Morgan Riley getting up, or trying to get up. Yeah, he's up on his skates, but the Islander player is still down.
I don't know, it's 21. It's Kyle Palmieri. But it looked like Palmieri, I thought, hit Riley from behind. And Morgan Riley is able to make his way over to the Leaf bench. Palmieri seems to be in a little more trouble. But to watch this again.
Just neither of them saw each other, right?
Yeah, it was actually Riley that hit Palmieri.
Puck rolled off the roof of the net, down off the shoulder of Sorokin, and then went wide. Off his shoulder first, onto the roof of the net, down off.
I mean, there was enough spin on it that hit the top of the net and spun forward. It seemed to almost roll down the crossbar, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Draw
motion.
one by Toronto. Back to the point now. Giordano's shot was blocked. And it's brought on by Cal Clutterbuck to center and down into the Leaf end. Martin into the corner with Hall. Body check there. Cizikas got the puck free. Hall trying to chop it along back of the net. It came to the side of the goal. Played back to the point. Fed over on the far side. Long shot from well out is blocked. Leafs clear it back into the corner. Back to the net, though, is Clutterbuck. Now back to the point it comes, and a long shot went well wide. Leafs get it out at center. Brought on by Malgin to center ice. Sent in. Matt Martin had him lined up right along the blue line, but Malgin sent the puck in and then caught wind of the hit coming and made a bit of a retreat. Shot down into the Toronto zone. Puck in front. Good save made there by Kallgren on a loose puck in front of the net. And now here's Ben sending it around back of the net for Morgan Riley. Up ahead it comes. Holmberg to center. Holmberg in across the line. A shot by Engvall deflected just wide of the net. Holmberg with the loose puck. Working it back to the blue line to Ben. Jordy Ben sends it down around back of the net. Here's Engvall curling out of the corner with it. Sends it to the net. That was steered wide by Sorokin's right pad. Islanders are gotten it freed up, and Barzal is away at center. Barzal in on the left wing, going back to the front of the goal, but the pass didn't reach him, and then Ben rode him efficiently into the end boards. Leafs are able to skate it out, and then Engvall circles back in his own zone and is trying to get to the bench to get a player change going, and the Leafs do that. Marner, a long bouncing puck looking to try and find Kerfoot, didn't work. Sandin chipping the puck back to the net. And now the Leafs starting out with it. Sandin, a pass off the boards to the line, gobbled up by Adam Pelech. Pelech couldn't make a pass. Now another pass is partially deflected and onto the stick of Tavares. Tavares back in, a drop pass, a wrist shot taken, swallowed up by Sorokin on a good hard shot taken by Alex Kerfoot. And that handcuffs Sorokin a little bit, but he was able to pounce on the puck, laying on the ice. Hey, Janice Bauer and the family out in Alberta are listening to us. Good. They're thinking about buying a cat.
I always said that, if you could go on the air and help just one person.
For one person. That's
change one life.
One life.
Then it's worth it.
One little pussycat. Yes. She wondered what we were eating at dinner tonight, so I think maybe there's a bit of an issue. I'm not sure. Here's the Islanders getting it down into the Leaf end. It's swept around the boards. It'll come to the point. Scott Mayfield can't keep it in. And a delayed offside in effect here as the Leafs will work it out. Giordano, a pass in over the line for Matthews, was in behind him. Barzal regroups the puck. Islanders start out with it. To the red line. Shot into the Toronto zone. 4 minutes played here in the third period. Leafs hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Puck turned over and kept in by the Islanders momentarily. Stolen back by the Leafs. And now Bunting works to the line. And oh God. Austin Matthews tried to straddle the blue line and did the splits. And Johnny Bauer didn't do the splits any better than that young man had to do right there. Long shoot in. Going to be an icing call here against the New York Islanders.
Austin Matthews found the back of the net here in the second period. That put the Leafs up 2-1 heading into the third, and it comes on a one-handed redirection. So, did you not say that not scoring goals with the regularity of how we usually, which is that patented snapshot to the high slot into the crossbar? And just look again at Matthews doing the splits, trying to stay on side.
Ooh. I'm sore. I don't know about you. Islanders in their own zone, bank it out and down into the Leaf end, off a skate, no icing. Liljegren misses a attempted hit there by Matt Martin, and the puck comes out at center ice. Here's David Camp sending it in. Took a bit of an elbow there, I thought, but no call as Clutterbuck set him up. And now here are the Islanders getting it ahead. Lee unable to get into the Leaf zone cleanly. Sandin dishing it off for Hall. He gets it up ahead on the right wing, and a diagonal shoot in for Engvall, but it bounced away from him. And Dobson gives the puck away now to Yarncrook. Yarncrook back of the net. Engvall trying to center, and it went off a stick and grabbed by Dobson and taken to safety. But Engvall's on it again, centering in front of the net this time. Yarncrook back to the point, off on the wing now for Engvall. Engvall back to the blue line again for Hall. Works to the line, left wing side. Sandin shooting, and it's into the glove of Sorokin. Held for a face-off in the Islanders zone, with the Leafs leading 2-1, 14:25 to play, third period.
The Leafs have really pushed the pace of play here early in the third period. Sorokin has been sharp, but he's given up a number of rebounds. Anything low seems to produce a huge rebound right back out in front of that last play. Sandin got it a little too airborne and The Islander goaltender was able to snag it out of midair with his glove. Face off to the right of Sorokin. The Tavares line comes out.
Kerfoot, Marner joining the Leaf captain, who has scored his 11th goal of the season. By the Leafs, fed around the boards by Tavares. Puck comes free. Islanders are going to get it out. And Kerfoot comes back into his own zone to get the defenseman to regroup the puck. Played ahead now, and a tip pass for Marner. Marner's in over the line, putting the brakes on. Marner with a pass in front of the goal. Giordano with a shot. Rebound in front. Cleared in front of the goal. It comes to Liljegren to Marner. Now to Tavares, and he is too well covered in front of the net. Marner back in his own zone. A long lead pass finds Kerfoot. Kerfoot in with a diagonal shoot in right wing corner, too far for Matthews. Puck follows Matthews to the far boards. Grabbed off there by Wahlstrom, and now the Islanders break out. Mayfield to center. Dropping for Barzal. Right wing side. Good save by Eric Källgren on the short side. Another shot in traffic is blocked. It comes to Barzal. Barzal to the point. In traffic, a long shot deflected wide. Källgren never saw it, I don't think. And it's out into neutral ice. Islanders back in their own zone. Organizing with Romanov. Putting the brakes on at his own blue line. He'll dish it back. And Scott Mayfield gets it ahead to Barzal. Up on the wing for Lee. Former Notre Dame University Fighting Irishman sends it down into the Leaf zone. Back to the point. Long shot in traffic. That went well wide. Kept in at the point by Pulock. He can't get a shot away. Played back to Barzal. Barzal with a shot and off the stick of Matthews. This is ramping up into the screen, out of play, and a break in the action here at Scotiabank Arena. The Leafs 2, the Islanders 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The biggest question about this team is the goaltending. They've got an all-new tandem. Will it hold?
Hey, it's Merrick here. You're in my head. Two things you got to know. One, I asked the better questions on the podcast. And two, I got the better hair.
But I just want to see how the goaltending holds up.
32 Thoughts, the podcast, is brought to you by the new Sierra AT4X. With a factory-installed 2-inch lift, off-road suspension, and massaging front seats, you can explore the backcountry in luxury. Visit gmccanada.ca to see the Sierra AT4X today.
All right, people, listen up. Search and rescue has a lot of ground to cover, so pay attention. It's minus 40 out here, and our guy has been missing for several hours. He's about 6'2", thin build. Fortunately, he's wearing a force field high-visibility vest, so we should... there he is.
Be seen with Force Field protective clothing. Made for Canadians, engineered for Canada. Visit highvissafety.ca. That's HIVIS safety.ca. And use code RADIO for 10% off your first order.
A furnace breakdown is uncomfortable, but you can feel comfortable knowing Reliance Home Comfort will fix it fast. We're here to take your call 24/7. And if you need a new one, right now you can get our featured furnace and make no monthly payments and pay no interest until 2024. Plus, start your Reliance Smart Home solution with a free Google Nest Learning Thermostat. So, if a furnace breakdown has you feeling uncomfortable,
call on Reliance.
Financing OAC. Interest accrues 18 months after installation. Conditions apply. See website for details.
We always get you the puck.
Steps around one, going to the net, a shot is good!
This is Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
After that collision with Palmieri, Morgan Riley played one shift, but has gone to the Leaf dressing room. The Leafs already have a number of defensemen already on the injured reserve list. Let's hope there's nothing too serious with Morgan Riley.
Might have been left knee.
Here's Lee bringing it in on the left wing, going wide and around back of the Leaf goal. Anders Lee gets it back to the point. Dobson to the left wing side. A shot deflects into the far corner. Chipped back of the net by Beauvillier. Now Dobson trying to center. It comes back off of Giordano's leg. Played up on the wing. Chipped to the line but not out. Islanders pressing here. And against the boards. Ben took his man down. Now Martin gets it back to the point. Fed on the wing and a shot is swallowed up by Eric Shalgren. An important save, if for no other reason. His group in front of him were getting a little long in the tooth as far as being on the ice.
And this has been a problem for the Leafs early in this season, and that is when you have an opportunity to get it out, you got to get it out. Dennis Melvin got caught trying to chip it past the defenseman. Wasn't able to get it out, and eventually it was Shalgren had to come up with a stop to keep the Leafs from having the score tied here in the third period.
Playing around back of the net into the near corner. Islanders are able to punch it back around the wall to the far side for Adam Pelech. Stolen back by Hall, who is able to get it ahead, and Matthews comes through neutral ice. Matthews to the line, and as he loaded up the wrist shot, he fanned on it. Islanders just clear to center. Liljegren launches it in off the glass. Down the boards comes Bunting, trying to get it into the corner. Fed around on the far side. Ben, fresh off the bench, clears it to the side of the net. Matthews couldn't get it away from Barzal. Barzal skates to center on the left wing. And across the line into the slot. To the right wing side, another dish back, and diligent back checking there by Bunting. Steals the puck back for Toronto. Matthews in over the line. He took a hit there from Oliver Wahlstrom, and that's enough for Rasmus Sandin to say, I'm going to step in for him. And down go both players. Full marks to Sandin, who is obviously not a fighter. But Matthews goes over to say something to him as he's heading to the penalty box.
And there was no call on the hit, Wahlstrom on Matthews. The officials are huddling in front of the penalty box right now. But I don't know if there are going to be any penalties on it. This looked to me like it was knee on knee.
It was attempted.
But there was no call on the play. Matthews was looking for it in his feet, and Wahlstrom, to me, it looked like it was a deliberate knee-on-knee hit. There was no call on that. So Rasmus Sandin decided to jump in and pay a visit to Wahlstrom. And good, probably the best news for all this, the Leafs have already lost Morgan Riley here in the third period. But Austin Matthews seems to be okay. Now, is there going to be a power play here? If it is, this is the delayed call.
It sure is.
26-20 the shots, 11:08 to go here in the third period. The Leafs leading 2-1, but the Leafs power play unit is on the ice. And the gate is open for the New York Islanders. Wahlstrom may have the extra penalty. Looked like Sandin might have taken one off the schnoz. It appears to be cut, but well worth it. Easy for me to say.
I think he took the first one right on the bugle, but good for him for jumping in. Leafs on the power play and can really do themselves a service here by scoring. Nylander on the left wing boards. Down into the corner, spins it back to the blue line to Giordano. Over on the right wing side, Matthews holding. Back it comes to Giordano. Giordano again with it to Nylander. Nylander will look across, goes down low. Marner now circles the net. Marner back of the goal. Marner now to Nylander to Giordano, back to Nylander, and a shot. Passing rebound. Oh, and a good save. The rebound came in front of the goal, and it's shot down the ice by New York.
By the way, the penalty was too many men on the ice for the Islanders.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I find that interesting. Anyway, here's Marner to the line. Marner in on the left wing, lost the handle on it, shot down the ice by the Islanders.
At least that's what I heard Mike Ross say, or thought I did, but it's showing up on the website as a delay of game penalty bench. So I'm not sure exactly, but Mike Ross had said too many men on the ice.
Well, I've never heard of a bench penalty for delay of game. Around on the boards now, it's played off stick to center. Here are the Leafs trying to get back, and they do, but the Islanders take it to the net, only to have it stolen back. Leafs come back at center. Malgin to the line and in, but a drop pass puts the play offside. Too many men on the ice. bench.
How many men on the ice /hyphen bench?
A lot of new calls coming up.
The big boys back. Well, actually, they've got Bunting out with Matthews and Nylander here. Last 20 seconds of this power play.
And two defensemen are Ben and Sandin. Played in over the line, knocked away, and shot down the ice. And that will just about do it for the power play. Half of the third period is in the books. 9:10 to play. Leafs hanging on to a 2-1 lead over the Islanders. Played off the boards to center. Matthews trying to chip it away, got it to Nylander. Nylander circles in his own zone. Drops it back and Jordy Ben. A pass to the far side for Yarncrook. Steered back, it's right on the goaltender who plays it ahead. Then Ben tries to send it around the boards and almost deflected that out in front of his own goal. Puck is still in the Leaf end. The Leafs have not made a good outlet pass to get it out. And now Yarncrook will do that to Hall, who will chip it off the boards. Aston Reese trying to get in over the line, but can't. Here's Barzal. And across the line for Toronto, or for the Islanders, shooting it into the Toronto zone. Liljegren for defenseman Giordano. The Leafs are down to 4 defensemen at this point with Sandin in the penalty box. Back to the point, Dobson. Over on the far side, it comes back to him. Dobson holds into the corner to Barzal. Barzal twisting and turning. Back to the point, Dobson carries in. He goes right to the net. Had it knocked away. Then Giordano couldn't reach it. Dobson to the point. Islanders with good puck possession here. Back to the point again, and another shot is by the rebound. Is flipped in front of the net. Leafs trying to get rid of it, and they do.
Boy, Shalgren has come up huge. Only 20 shots against, but he has made 5 or 6 key stops in this game.
Aho to Pollock and into the Toronto zone it comes. Lee with a shot, juggled and held there by Shalgren. And another stoppage of play, courtesy of the Leafs' young netminder. And a face-off coming in the circle to his left when we return. 7:26 to play, third period. Toronto 2, the Islanders 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Some ice dancing pairs synchronize their breathing to perform as one, the same way a Subaru synchronizes with you. Imagine your phone syncs, your playlist plays, your heart races as you feel the full-time traction. Here you are, moving gracefully as one, making every turn seem so effortless. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Look at you, smiling like a gold medalist. Visit your local Subaru dealer and really own winter with uncommon synchronicity.
Pavlov's dog proved the power of predictable results. And for that, Ivan Pavlov received the Nobel Prize. Now Nick Pavlov, broker Remax West, also receives awards, also for predictable results. So have the award-winning Nick Pavlov real estate team provide a predictable result for you. Your home, sold for the asking price or more, as soon as 7 days or less. You must be salivating at that. Nick Pavlov makes it happen.
This season on Sportsnet.
The National Hockey League has returned.
Doesn't get any better than that.
All the incredible.
A theatrical beauty from Connor McDavid.
All the unthinkable.
Oh my goodness, what a goal!
All season long.
Matthew scores! There's a new member of the 60-goal club.
That's why you gotta watch.
That was amazing.
Every game on Sportsnet.
He snipes shots like Ron Burgundy sips scotch.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Austin Matthews and the Leafs play here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs the Islanders got a goal from a defenseman tonight in Noah Dobson. 16 goals from their defense this season. The Maple Leafs, meanwhile, have 5, which is 27th, tied for 27th in the NHL in that department. Islanders with the puck in the Toronto end. Play it around to the far corner. Hall gets there to get it elevated, but not out. Now it is poked out. And Kerfoot starts through neutral ice, trying to one-hand it in over the line. Was leveled by Adam Pelech standing up at the blue line. Islanders back in over the line with a pass. And it intercepted. The Leafs push it ahead to Matthews in on the right side. Got a shot away. A blocker saved by Sorokin, but it was a big, juicy rebound, but no one there. Barzal seems to have had the puck most of the time when the Islanders have possessed it. Now pass ahead on the wing. Deflects down into the Toronto zone. Icing waved off. Puck shot around the boards by goaltender Shalgren. Leafs are going to chip it out into neutral ice. And a high stick making contact with the disc. Stops play with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go. And the Maple Leafs hanging on to a 2-1 lead. Goals from Tavares and Matthews in the second period. Dobson in the first for the Islanders.
All right, I read it today, and I haven't been able to find it since. So I'm going off by heart. Islanders 4 number 1 pick overall.
Yep.
4 times they've had the first pick in the draft.
Yep.
You know one of them is playing tonight.
Yes.
John Tavares. Can you name the other 3?
Yes, I can.
Oh.
Goaltender Rick DiPietro.
Okay, where did I read it? You got it right there, don't
right
you?
Here. You probably read it on my notes.
Okay, see if I can remember.
All right, you remember.
I believe 71 was Billy Harris.
Actually, 72.
Okay, then 74 was Denny Potvin.
73 was Denny Potvin. If you get
Damn
the
it.
stats right, you probably would have had this, but I can't give you full marks.
Let me try it again.
You'll forget before I get there. You know that. It is a 2-1 Toronto lead, and we are heading into the final 5 minutes of play. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
So I was just at Shoppers Drug Mart, and they have like hundreds of gifts. I got an electric toothbrush, new fragrances, toys, and I got PC Optimum points. My holiday shopping is done. You should totally check it out.
Add some rhythm to your morning with the McDonald's Egg BLT McMuffin or the Chicken BLT McMuffin. Available until 11 a.m. for a limited time. With the BLT McMuffin sandwiches, it's easy to start your day off right at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
It's early access to the Bay's Black Friday sale with up to 60% off, including clearance. Right now, you'll find amazing deals, like up to 60% off women's and men's outerwear from DKNY, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and more. Plus, shop confidently with 90-day returns and the Bay's price match guarantee. So head over to your local Hudson's Bay store or thebay.com and get ahead on your holiday shopping. It's Black Friday at the Bay. Exclusions and conditions apply.
Challenge the chill with Lexus all-wheel drive at Don Valley North Lexus. Take advantage of this incredible offer and bring winter on. Right now, lease the 2023 NX250 all-wheel drive signature package from just $278 bi-weekly for 40 months. And yes, they'll even deliver your new Lexus right to your door. Expect excellence online and in the showroom. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com.
Don Valley North, Don Valley North for Lexus.
A proud member of the Wayne's Auto Group.
This is Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Willie Nylander! And the Leafs have a 2-goal lead.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Face-off coming in the Islanders zone. 5:47 to play in the third period. Tavares facing off. And lost the draw there to Pajot. Cleared down the ice. Icing call here against the Islanders. Now, Twitter is an interesting little tool, and a lot of it is really stupid.
It's become a lot more interesting.
Yes, it has. It has. But you know, one of the things that you find out through Twitter is that there are Leaf fans around the world. There's a delightful young lady named Victoria Stewart from Scotland who is a huge Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and she's put her money together, and she's here tonight watching the game. And gonna bring her up here and show her the press box after the game, just as a bit of a treat. But I mean, really, there are Leaf fans all around the world, and here's a perfect example of one, as the Leafs are going to ice the puck here and bring it back for a face-off with 5:23 to go.
I remember somebody was interviewed on the scoreboard last game that was moved here from the UK as well. It says it was her first game, but
That's
became
right.
a Leaf
jersey.
fan.
Didn't have a jersey yet. Yeah. Yeah.
She guessed right in the trivia question and got the jersey.
I loved it. Yeah. And we hear from people in Australia who are listening to our broadcasts and various other areas. So welcome aboard and thank you for having us a part of it. Dobson at the point, can't get it to the net as it was blocked there by Kerfoot, and he gets it out into center ice territory. And the Leafs are sitting back here. The Islanders are pressing as they shoot it down into the Leaf end. Quickly cleared on the wall and out at center ice, and Dobson has it go off a leg, and the Leafs are in across the line. Here's Kerfoot closing to Marner! Oh, and he tried to send it in front of the net, and Camp couldn't get his stick on it. Actually, it was Malgin. Shot from the blue line, whistled wide of the net by Liljegren. Comes to center ice, and Sandin back into the fray after serving his 5-minute major. Camp sending in. I'm just going to take a wild guess on this one. I think that is probably Rasmus Sandin's first fighting major. Back to the point, a shot. Swallowed up by Sorokin, held for a faceoff.
Well, when they like fighting or not, I don't think there's a guy in the dressing room that would dispute if you're going to fight, that's the best reason to do it. Somebody takes a run at Austin Matthews, and to me, I think it's overdone to some extent with her clean hits. People want to fight you for a clean hit. This one looked a little dangerous. I still thought it was knee on knee. It wasn't called that. And to me, that's when you've got kind of the free ticket to jump in and try to defend a teammate, even though that may not be your specialty.
Pelech starts out of his own zone, had it hit a skate, it bounces high and high enough to clear the glass and go about 2 rows deep into the spectators inside the penalty box.
We saw already without Jake Muzzin, TJ Brody, and now they have Morgan Riley lead the game here in the third period after a freak collision with Kyle Palmieri. But it appeared to be the left knee or left leg of Riley that was affected.
Leafs win the draw, and a whistling shot by Liljegren went wide of the net. Now Sandin gets trapped, but Nylander's back trying to help out as the Leafs get back into position and the Islanders get it into the zone. Pass intercepted by Nylander. He starts back for the Maple Leafs to Matthews, back to Nylander. Willie going wide, had the puck roll on him, got it back to the net for Matthews. Matthews back for Nylander. Nylander steals it off Barzal. Nylander back to the point it comes. Passing on goal. That was kicked away by Sorokin. I say a pass because I don't think Hall was loading up any kind of a shot. It was more of an easy wrist shot that was looking for a redirect. Holmberg sends it down into the Islander zone. 3:24 to go. Leafs with a 1-goal lead. Played on the backhand by Yarncrook back at the net. Holmberg after the puck as it bounces to the side. It comes right back to him in the corner. Holmberg protects it well. Centers in front. One-timer there by Yarncrook, and it went wide. Boy, I love the way he gets rid of that thing in a hurry. His crosshairs were didn't work out, and now the Islanders score! Erik Källgren came out of the net to play the puck. All he had to do really was stop it, and instead played it up the boards, and Josh Bailey ends up with it and finds the short side.
And as good as Källgren has been tonight, this error is critical. Stops it behind the net. You're right, all he had to do is leave it there, but instead, in one motion, tried to play it on an angle out the near side and put it past Ben onto the stick of Bailey, who walks in for the right wing circle and snaps it past Källgren, who had just managed to get back into the net. But Holmberg got caught in no man's land in between them and might have provided a bit of a screen. And the Islanders, with a bit of a gift, have tied it 2-2 with 2:58 to go here in regulation.
And for Josh Bailey, his 4th goal of the season. And so the Leafs, who were kind of sitting back trying to protect the 1-goal lead, are now in a tie game. Ben unable to get the puck into the zone. Anders Lee gets to the red line and shoots it in. Benn down the boards, chipping it off the wall to get it ahead. Launched high down into the Islander zone. Icing call coming against Toronto.
I mentioned the New York Islanders had, coming into this game, 30 third-period goals, which was tops in the NHL. Not the Leafs had done a pretty good job of keeping them to the outside, allowing Källgren to see the opportunities and allow him to make the save. But Källgren right now has been part of his own undoing. And a horrid giveaway as this game tied at 2. And we've seen it a few times where I don't know if you look at any of the Leafs have been, the goaltenders have been great puck handlers. Marty Brodeur might have ruined it for a lot of people.
No kidding. Yeah. Played down into the Toronto zone. Sandin works out at center, got it off a leg and into the zone by Marner, but quickly corralled by Pulock, who will regroup the puck in his own zone. Pulock turning to get away from Bunting. Now Pulock with it again to his defense partner, far side. Pulock got it to center, played to the line, broken up at the blue line, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thought there was an extra Islander on there because one of the defensemen went towards the bench and then all of a sudden steered wide. And good hustle here by Hall on an icing call against the Islanders with 1:44 to go in regulation.
Boy, how big was that play now where Järnkrok missed the net? Right from the hash marks. By the way, that was the same place Järnkrok had scored against the Buffalo Sabres.
Face-off coming to the right in the Islander zone.
Armand just gave us another, Armand just gave us another great stat of Hal Clutterbuck.
Kept in by Toronto, fed around the boards to the left wing side. Bunting getting it into the corner. Nylander trying to control, works it back on the boards and sends it into the corner. Bunting late getting there, cleared to the line. Nice play by Nylander to keep it in. Now Matthews trying to find Nylander with a behind the back pass. That didn't work. It's cleared to center ice. Yeah, we talk about the Islander fourth line that you can hear them forechecking, and Clutterbuck you can hear all over the rink.
Yeah, they haven't kept track of hits NHL games since 05-06, but he has just become the all-time leader, passing Dustin Brown.
Shot taken there by Camp, was directed wide of the net by Sorokin. Less than a minute to go in the third. Played down into the Toronto zone. Against the board, Sandin. Camp trying to help out. They have it pinned up against the boards, and no one seems to be in any big hurry to moving the puck. And the referee is baiting the game go on. Half a minute left. The puck does come free, but the Leafs don't get it out. Now they'll get it freed up and back of the net for Hall. Hall chipping it on the boards for Engvall. Game could be played in a phone booth right now. It's underneath. Anders Lee, 2, 1, and that'll do it.
So like everybody's going, you want to go for the point? Want the guaranteed point?
Yeah, I think
the pair? What do you? Well, let's move it over there.
Anything going on here? No.
Yeah.
So we are going to overtime. The Islanders get a goal from Bailey. That's 17:02 to tie the game. And we're back with the extra session. You're listening to Molson Canadian Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Some ice dancing pairs synchronize their breathing to perform as one, the same way a Subaru synchronizes with you. Imagine your phone syncs, your playlist plays, your heart races as you feel the full-time traction. Here you are, moving gracefully as one, making every turn seem so effortless. Left turn signal, right turn signal. Look at you, smiling like a gold medal.
This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a callback. You need a job. Express Employment Professionals can help. We'll connect you to the right company. We're committed to your success and never charge a fee to find you a job. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Maple Leafs have lost 4 games in overtime. Erik Källgren has been in goal for 3 of them. And the New York Islanders have gone 2-0 in overtime. Neither of these teams have gone to a shootout this far this season.
Most recent one for the Leafs was a loss at home here to the New Jersey Devils. And that was on a giveaway into overtime. The Leafs touched the puck for a split second, and that was just long enough to give the puck away and allow the Devils to win it. Now we got Pelech, Pajot, and Parise.
Against Matthews, Nylander, and Liljegren. And the Leafs control the opening faceoff. Dropping it back for Nylander, dropping it off to Matthews. Down the left wing he comes. Matthews in over the line, and a rising shot went high and wide and comes to center, and Nylander is back there being chased hard by Zach Parise. Nylander going around back of the net. Leafs don't make a change. Then a pass from Matthews went astray, and an icing call is coming here. They did make one exchange, and that was Giordano coming on for Liljegren. So Matthews and Nylander will stay out there, and Matthews needs to win a faceoff here.
See the other thing, when Matthews had the shot, the opportunity up the left wing side, those are so dangerous if you miss the net. Three guys going the wrong way.
And now the Islanders win the faceoff. Into the corner, Barzal. Chased by Giordano. Goes back of the Toronto net. Fed off on the far wing. Looking back towards the blue line for Mayfield. Mayfield on the right wing board. Centers. Pass intercepted. Leafs make a reverse. And now here's Nylander. A lead pass for Matthews was a bad one, and it's gone for icing.
Boy, a 57-second overtime shift to start the extra frame for Matthews and Nylander. Two icings here in overtime, so two missed outlet passes. Giordano will stay out as well, although he was able to get on for Liljegren earlier in overtime.
Face off to the left of Shalgren this time. And Pajot won the draw, but it came right to Nylander. Now Nylander is coming to center. Gave the puck away. Here's a chance for Barzal into the slot. Shooting down is Shalgren to make the save, and Willie Nylander breaks his stick in disgust. All he was trying to do was send it all the way back into his own end to Giordano to allow he and Matthews to the bench. Instead, he kind of nonchalanted it, and Barzal picked it off, and Shalgren has to make a save to bail out Nylander's mistake.
Barzal did a good job of reading the play. He knew exactly what Nylander was trying to do and cut at the last second.
Face-off won by the Islanders, but apparently not within the rules, and they have had to make a change. Pajot will give way to Barzal in the face-off circle against Tavares.
This is the third face-off in the Leaf zone here in overtime already.
Tavares wins the draw. Around the boards, it'll come to Marner. He backhands the puck back to Hall. Hall in against the boards. No Morgan Riley here, of course. And Hall seeing some time in overtime. Now Tavares to Marner. Marner works back towards the blue lines. Works to the far side. Makes a blind pass. And it's intercepted by Barzal. Both Marner and Tavares out back into the defensive zone. Now up on the left wing it comes. Here's Brock Nelson in on the wing. A shot, they score! Anthony Beauvillier, and the Maple Leafs' problems in overtime continue.
Leafs never get a scoring opportunity in overtime. Late in the third period, the Leafs holding on to a 2-1 lead. Stops the puck behind the net, and instead of leaving it there for Jordy Ben, tries to play it out the short side as he's getting back into the net. Misses Ben, and the Islanders were able to steal it. Josh Bailey tied it at 2, and the Islanders now win it in overtime, so the Leafs drop to 1-5 in games that have gone beyond regulation.
Anthony Beauvillier with the goal. The player of the game brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is the world's favorite sports book with 80 million members worldwide. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only.
Well, we were going to wait and see what happened in overtime, so let's give it to... You know what? Instead, we were going to say the overtime winner, Anthony Beauvillier. But I'm with you. and saying that it seemed had a scoring chance. It seemed like he was part of it.
Picked up an assist on the opening goal of the game. The Leafs lose it 3-2. They'll go to the road and tangle with the Devils in New Jersey on Wednesday night, and we'll have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock. Gord Stellick and Brent Gunning with the post-game shows coming your way after this timeout. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. Molson Canadian, proud partner of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Hey, kiddo. I thought you were shoveling.
The Rogers Wrapped in Red event.
Streaming a movie? Out here?
The Rogers Wrapped in Red event.
Must be that extra data I got you.
The Rogers Wrapped in Red event.
Wait. I love this part of the movie.
The Wrapped in Red event.
Unwrap our biggest deals of the season with mobile plans from $60 a month. Great gifts for them, great deals for you. Visit Rogers.com or a store near you for details.
Share more with family with CIBC Global Money Transfer. We know achieving your goals in Canada happened with the support of family. With CIBC Global Money Transfer, we have zero transfer fees, so more of your money goes to thanking those who matter most. Share more in over 120 countries, and now get up to $300 back on your first transfer with promo code GMT Event. It's our way to share too. For details, go to CIBC.com/GMT Event. Conditions and CIBC foreign exchange rates apply.
Keeping construction and mining industries earth-moving equipment at peak performance is a big job. It takes the latest technology, insight, experience, and some incredible people. At SMS Equipment, we roll up our sleeves and get the job done. Grow your career and expertise by working with some of the world's most advanced machines and heavy equipment technologies. SMS Equipment. Big machines, bigger careers. Apply now at smsequipment.com.
It's early access to the Bay's Black Friday sale with up to 60% off, including clearance. Right now, you'll find amazing deals, like up to 60% off women's and men's outerwear from DKNY, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and more. Plus, shop confidently with 90-day returns and the Bay's price match guarantee. So head over to your local Hudson's Bay store or thebay.com and get ahead on your holiday shopping. It's Black Friday at the Bay. Exclusions and conditions apply.
At Toyota, our vehicles have always had quality and advanced safety features built right in.
Because sometimes I might forget to check my blind spots.
Quality means everything to us because it means everything to you. Order a new 2023 Corolla L from $24,541. Dealer may charge additional fees up to $1,221. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Ontario Toyota dealer today. It's time to Toyota.
As an expert traveler, you know what you want from a Black Friday sale. And it's not a bargain on a microwave. It's white sand and blue skies. So join us for Sell Off Vacation's big Black Friday sale and get instant savings off your expertly planned vacation when you book by November 27th. Because a microwave can warm up a cup of coffee, but it can't warm you up like a tropical getaway can. Let's make it happen. In store with 6 locations in the GTA, online, or just give us a call.
SellOutVacations.com. Let our trained professionals help you come down from the high of the game here on the Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Here's Brock Nelson in on the wing. A shot, they score! Anthony Beauvillier, and the Maple Leafs' problems in overtime continue.
Yeah, they do. Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick here with you, putting a bow on a 3-2 Leafs overtime loss. And Gordo, you know, this is a frustrating show to do for many reasons. One, I had so many good things to say about the Leafs for 58 and a half minutes. This was a really well-played hockey game by a team. A mistake by Shalgren, and I don't know, about 15 mistakes in the 3 minutes overtime we saw here, which we will dive into. And all of a sudden, it's the result the other way. What did you make of the Leafs' 3-2 loss to the Islanders in OT?
And, of course, the fear of hopefully a possible significant injury to Morgan Riley, joining TJ Brody and Jake Muzzin on that list. Something, anyway, we'll talk about that.
We will get to that.
Okay, so overtime and shootout, we understand it's kind of a gimmicky thing, but it's part of the game. And I don't know if you remember the year it was that it came down to John Ferguson was general manager back in that era. And, I mean, there was one time they made the playoffs, or the last night of the season they played Montreal, and then the Islanders beat New Jersey or whatever.
Right.
And so that year, shootout and overtime losses were the difference makers.
They were.
Now, I don't see this team being in peril of that, but that was that they had terrible record about overtime losses and shootouts, and that's why they didn't make the playoffs. So I don't know where you practice it or not, but it looks like the last 3 games or so, they ain't practicing it. I know they do as much as any, but boy, what a raggedy end band of whatever in overtime the last few games. Bad giveaways, missed passes, zigging when the other person's zagging, whatever. And again, it's all of a sudden this goal. It's kind of like, the snake just catching its prey, and the other team capitalizes on basically gimme. I mean, last time it was John Tavares, who rarely does it, and this time, gosh, William Nylander tried his best, and he knew it. He slammed his stick when he went there, and then who was it Marner? I guess, just whatever, just I say inexplicable giveaway. Maybe I'll just say giveaway, but obviously whatever they're out of karma or cohesion, whatever their overtime plan has been the last 3 games.
So I think the for me anyways, I'll speak for myself. The frustrating part of it is that there were a couple of plays where Nylander tried to hit Matthews on a stretch pass, and it is not being lazy. This is not a player who's not locked in,
exactly.
But it just looks lackadaisical. And, part of it is the difference between a clean puck pickup and an icing is a matter of inches. I understand how fine the line is at the NHL level, but when you're Austin Matthews, that line gets a lot finer, and you expect him to kind of come through. And those 2 plays there, and then you mentioned the Nylander one. Now, Shalgren was able to end up making the save there, but that play on the offensive blue line there, it's confounding to see a player who's as confident and comfortable with the puck as Nylander is just completely whiff on a pass like he did. I mean, the Leafs now fall to 1-5 on the season. They won their first overtime game, and they have not won one since. Like you said, with a team that's as talented as the Leafs, you expect it to go. You don't expect to be perfect in overtime, but man, you expect it to go your way more times than not. Do you think it's a case of the Leafs have? It feels ridiculous to say they have too much talent that they just assume it's going to work out for them. I can't for the life of me understand it because, we talk so much about the bottom six, and what do you feel about your third pairing D? That doesn't impact 3-on-3 overtime at all, and you have tons of star talent. It is confounding that they have just picked up 1 win.
Well, and by the way, no passengers tonight either. I mean, everybody played really well on the Leafs side, whether it's Marner or William Nylander. Now, I don't know part of it about Morgan Rielly. Again, he's the one that got burned last game. So they started. It was interesting. They had Liljegren out there for the face-off, but I think it was understood that if they won the draw and got possession, Giordano would come out, or it's like they wanted to get it back to him. He's a better puck handler, and once they got possession, so I don't know if that came into play or not, but wow, it just was. And then the game-tying goal was off a miscommunication from the goaltender defenseman, so an easy goal for Josh Bailey. And then the weird thing at the end, I know the officials and the players know it, and it was a directive to keep the puck moving because that play where you deliberately freeze the puck against the boards just doesn't get called anymore.
It doesn't.
But I've never seen it drag on like that. And actually, that was in the Leafs' favor. Period and a half, or period and 3/4 being the team, and thinking, I know 1-goal leads can be precarious, but you're playing a smart game, and then all of a sudden just a crappy bounce goal like that. And even that after, because Shalgren had a rush getting in the net. It wasn't a great shot either. Anyway, you get a point. That's the upside. But again, one of the games you should have had 2.
Yeah, you certainly should have. And, just the way they were possessing the puck, the way they were moving that thing in the offensive zone, it looked like what you expect this Leafs team to look like at times. And like you said, I guess it's good you leave with the point, but it almost, I know they lost the game, but it feels like you leave completely empty-handed, just how much things were going in your favor there. You mentioned Shalgren, and it's funny how often we have this exact conversation when when he starts a game it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault that they lost the game by any means, but there was, there's almost always one goal you'd like to have back, and it's not so much the goal, it's the playing of the puck that leads to it there. And, you can't fault him for the first one that goes off David Kampf, and you'd love him to stop the one in OT, but that's a shooter coming down the wing, and he makes a shot there, but it is him who's kind of at the heart of the game-tying goal. But the Leafs had to make mistakes to put him in that position. So when he's your third-string goalie, I don't think you expect him to be a stalwart who can steal you games or anything like that. But even on a night where I have mostly good things to say, there is that one moment where you just kind of wince when you look back at it.
Well, you could say Källgren gave you an stars because so that's the difference. You got so goaltending was the difference. Källgren, did he play terrible? No, but the faux pas at the bad time again. I don't know. So again, I'm not going to keep blaming Morgan Rielly being out of it and so many D being out of it. It just it just was unfortunate. It's a reminder because they've had disappointing losses. Whether last year you talk about Nick Paul getting a goal, I know they had all kinds of chances, they didn't get it.
Yep.
Montreal, when they needed to do it, they had some bad giveaways and whatever. So maybe a regular season reminder, and they're not doing it on purpose, but hopefully in the playoffs, these kind of losses, like when you have a lead, it doesn't dissipate like it did tonight.
No, they're not. Yeah, it is. You hope the best case scenario is that these are reminders of the lessons you're supposed to learn, but they have to take hold at some point. You can only learn them so many times. You mentioned it, Morgan Rielly leaving the game, a really, really awkward collision with Kyle Palmieri. It was a classic case of guys puck watching, and normally when you get burned by that, the puck's in the back of your net. But now you have two guys who did not factor much in the rest of the game, Morgan Rielly at all, just two guys colliding at center ice, an innocent play, no ill will on either part. We're all going to have much nicer things to say Morgan Rielly, but the fact that he couldn't return, it's not a good place to be starting from, and all of a sudden this Leafs blue line is getting really, really thin.
And at one point, give Rasmus Sandin credit for jumping in.
That's right.
When Austin Matthews
it did knock them down to 4 available defensemen late in the game.
Yeah, he took his first ever fight, sticking up for Austin Matthews, and just chatting with Jim Ralph about it as well. I mean, that could have been a penalty to Wallstrom as well. But anyway, so
you saved the complaining about penalties that weren't called against the Leafs to me.
Okay, I will. That's your department. That's your department. Yeah, it's just. I got to say another thing about. Okay, I'm going to say it now because this game tonight.
Yeah.
The in-arena stuff has to jive with the flow of the game. Okay, when you got a close game there, you can't be flashing the camera, living in a vacuum, in breaks, as people just get giddy, waving. Because, you're talking about...
It is tough to see someone with a big smile on their face right after the Leafs have given up a lead. Yeah.
Play more highlights or something like that. Like, play something. Play, just whatever. It just seems that all of a sudden there's a game going on, and, part of it is the fans are to be part of the game and should be a big part of the game. And these fans aren't dumb. I mean, they're going to follow it and enjoy it, and if they're cheering for the Leafs, they're going to get into it. But I just find it like I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little picky here, which is okay.
That's fine.
This is the kind of game to get picky. I just kind of, and we're talking to young guys too. Like
our man Armin. He's our youth correspondent.
I've been to other places like Montreal and Buffalo, and how they do it there. I mean, the game's got to be the number one focal point. Still, you can't just be like this. Let's make a deal out in the crowd about Price is Right, come on down, and whatever. Got to be a balance. That's what. Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there is, and nothing got people going more than you mentioned the Sandin moment where he stuck up for Matthews, and that was really, really nice to see. And it's been a while, I feel like, since I brought him up here on Leafs Nation postgame. My guy, don't come for me, Wayne Simmons, but at least the deputy mayor of Scarborough, Michael Bunting, he's right in the thick of it as he always was. He had kind of lost his place on this team. Not lost his place, that's probably a little too strong of a term, but he wasn't put in pen beside Matthews like he has been for the majority of his run here, and it felt like he's now worked himself back into that top line. And am I a little biased? I think I am, but I also think he continues to prove himself as the best fit up there. A guy like Alex Kerfoot, he has his moments, he has his flashes, but he doesn't give you anything to write home about in the top six. Nick Robertson, we've talked about his inability to get there, and when you run down left wingers on this team, okay, maybe Calle Yarncroke gets a look at some point in time, but until somebody else takes it, it just feels like Bunting is so firmly kind of cemented himself there on Matthews' left wing.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Kerfoot looks great, but he's got to do more.
He
just does. And in Bunting's case, it's like last year that he was stuck back in cargo with a bunch of other players, and then all of a sudden he went right to first class. So, he expects to, the early boarding call, he expects to go on, and now
what's going on here?
He's got to kind of work and earn it. Somebody within the organization asked, and I don't think it's I think it could be a valid point just about on the play where he took on Mayfield, and then the play went towards the Islander bench, and then reputation among the league leaders at drawing penalties. Officials consciously know that, okay, or subconsciously. That ends up being top of the mind. So it's just kind of there as they're doing the whole game. Just kind of okay, watch out. Nazem Kadri used to be that guy.
I was going to say, boy, this sounds familiar.
There's certain individuals, and all of a sudden you seem to be at some point that
field to just drag the fight over to your own bench, and there's no way you're going to be not having the upper hand there, and Michael Bunting, he's a big boy. He can take it, and quite frankly, he welcomes a lot of it on. We always tell our kids, like, you're not the reason. Michael Bunting wills it all onto himself. So no.
But that's what this game. That's what this game had tonight, Brent. That's what I'm saying. It was just a hell of a game. It's just a very empty feeling. Not that you lost in overtime, but just the manner of the whole thing is just added from a time where it was 57.5 minutes of real solid Toronto Maple Leaf home game against the New York Islanders.
Yeah, it's amazing how different this game feels if the Leafs win the face-off like they do. Matthews comes down, he rings one off the bar, the Islanders have a break the other way, and it's the exact same goal that goes in. You feel so much differently about it of, okay, well, we had our puncher's chance, and there it was, but it was just the disjointed nature of it, and, I think part of it is that you go back to the last time we saw this team playing 3-on-3. Granted, it was a completely different unit. It was Tavares who had the giveaway. Marner was out there with him, but it's back-to-back overtimes, and it's 5 straight that they've lost, so you're not leaving any of them feeling good, but it's back-to-back overtimes where you just don't generate anything. And for a team that has all the offensive talent that this one does, it's just so frustrating. One other thing, speaking of offensive talent, Marner on defense. This has been a thing that's been bandied about. It's been talked about. Saw it a little bit, peaks and valleys here, or little peaks at it tonight. Going back to the Carolina game or the Jersey game, you saw a bit of it. Do you think there's any world where Sheldon Keefe, not by any means to say you're one of our 6 defensemen, you're going to play him back there the whole time, but if Riley's out for any length of time, we know Brody is, we know how banged up this decor is. Do you think there's any world where Keefe is tempted to kind of look at Marner as a defenseman a little bit more?
I hope not, because he's a first-team All-Star right winger.
Agreed.
The last 2 years, and he played a hell of a game again tonight, and his consecutive point-a-game streak continues. And so the point, I've seen it a couple times. Jury's still out about it. I understand that when you're down by a goal, that's a move they can try to do 5-on-5, and they slid it in, and he got beat bad defensively, but that's to be expected. A little bit of growing pains, I think. So it's an option you can do. Again, we're hopefully going to hear from Sheldon Keefe soon, but we'll find out. Well, it's funny, sir. The Columbus Blue Jackets all of a sudden have nobody on defense, and they're winning games, right? And so the Leafs may end up having to do this, provide opportunity for somebody else along the way. I don't know if there's the Ilya Lyubushkin type trade again that they could do, one of those kind of players. But we always talk about it that at some point the D are going to get injured. It just happens.
It does. And you look up and down the lineup. Victor Mete is a guy who's already got in. Jordy Ben was not supposed to play, I'm not going to say this many games, but this many in a row. You're supposed to have him as part of the mix, not Morgan Riley's partner. So, you're looking at a Victor Mete. Philip Kral is a guy that you've seen a little bit of. Mac Holloway, haven't seen him yet, but he was a guy who Kyle Dubas' name dropped in kind of the preseason avails when running down the depth. I think we're going to know a lot about, obviously, the team's pretty forthright when it comes to injury news, at least in terms of, rough timelines, day to day, week to week, heaven forbid, month to month. I think it'll tell us a lot about, just how serious Riley's injury is if Dubas does have to make a move. Because even if it is just, quote unquote, just for a Lyubushkin type, I think that kind of proves that he's going to likely miss a little bit of time. Because, if it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, okay, you could probably get by with what you've got in the mix here. But if it's any longer than that, I do think it kind of upped the urgency. And again, if this was Jordy Ben who got got hurt, it doesn't. You simply slide Victor Mede in. But because it's one of the few, it's the only difference maker you have back there, and that's not to take anything away from Sandin and Liljegren or Giordano, but without Brody, Riley is the one guy who can make something happen back there, and I do think they'd have to look at a trade if he's going to be out longer than just a couple of weeks. And again, we have no idea what the timeline is.
Yeah, and I mean, a couple of years ago, the Bruins got like Mike Riley for a third-round pick from Ottawa. And I just meant that was just a good filler, right?
No, you're right. You bring him up all the time, and he is exactly the type of body that they need.
And again, part of the problem is they don't have a lot of draft picks, but that's a whole other story.
Draft picks, cap space.
Yeah, about all that. But anyway, we'll hopefully find out more from Sheldon Keefe. I imagine he just said the swelling goes down or do X-rays and that. But yeah, just what a weird collision. And usually it's those kind of not innocent how hard they both went down, but it wasn't a hockey play, wasn't a dirty play, wasn't a rough play. One you rarely see. I mean, I just saw one. They had a great highlight about Pasternak, and then a couple of Bruins just bam. They didn't get hurt, but two teammates kind of colliding, not getting out of the way versus two players on opposing teams, just both to your term puck watching and taking a real. I mean, Paul Murray too went down in a heap as well.
Yeah, he did, and Kyle Palmieri is a big boy. Not that you want to run into any NHL player going full tilt, but the Islanders have like a breadth of guys you do not want to do that with. Other teams, maybe the Leafs, for example, you got to get away with that. But the Islanders, there's no safe place to run into them there. Leafs now they're back at it Wednesday. That's good when we're going to see them next. You imagine Matt Murray's going to get the start. And again, not to go back to Shalgren, he was fine. He's your third goalie. That was more or less what you expect. You, quite frankly, with the offensive talent you have, you should be able to overcome one bugaboo from your goalie, quite frankly.
Yeah, and it looks like, I mean, he'll play Friday afternoon or Saturday. He'll play one of those two games, you have to think. Samsonov's not going on the trip. Brody not going on the trip. Now Morgan Riley, geez. But anyway, So yeah, he played good enough. The quicker you can get back your one or two goalies. We saw number 3 goaltender stop 47 of 50 shots for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Tarasov doing that last night in their win. So anyway, like I said, it's these opportunities. Michael Bunting made the most of it last year. Others have along the way, and been able to get a spot in an NHL lineup, and that's what's going to be the Leaf D for a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. So we will endeavor to track down Sheldon Keefe, and by that I mean we'll just wait and see if he talks. Brent Gunning and Gord Stellick here. A lot more to break down. Leafs picking up a point, but falling in overtime. 3-2 is the final for the Islanders here at Scotiabank Arena. Keep on listening to Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every year, fans debate over the draft. Who's going first? At Chuck's, they already know. The top draft choice is that icy cold 18-ounce Molson Canadian you're holding, and it's just $4 at Chuck's during Leafs games. No wonder that at draft time, Canadians are always in high demand. Chuck's Roadhouse Bar and Grill. Food the way it ought to be. Price the way it used to be.
Join Bet365 now and discover the power of the world's favorite sportsbook. Watch thousands of live games. Build your own bet. You can even bet on games while they're still being played. Seriously. And if you can't watch the games live, we'll alert you to any changes. Nice. We're the world's favorite sportsbook, and this is no ordinary betting app.
Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connexontario.ca.
I'm Jamie. As an elementary school teacher in Ontario, I've seen the impacts of the pandemic on student achievement and well-being. Students need real government action and investment to recover and succeed. Every child deserves access to high-quality, inclusive early childhood education and care because we know it creates a strong foundation for lifelong learning. As a teacher, I know what my students need to succeed. Learn what's happening in Ontario classrooms. Visit knowmore.ca. That's KNOWMORE.ca. A message from the Ontario English Catholic Teachers Association.
Time for a little hockey-talky. This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Protects it well. Center's in front. One-timer there by Yarncrook, and it went wide. Boy, I love the way he gets rid of that thing in a hurry. His crosshairs didn't work out, and now the Islanders score. Eric Shalgren came out of the net to play the puck. All he had to do really was stop it, and instead played it up the boards, and Josh Bailey ends up with it and finds the short side.
I wouldn't say there's a common thread, and you go through each of them. There's different issues in each of them, but obviously, not good enough.
What's it say about Rasmus that he jumps in like that? Obviously, fighting not his forte.
Yeah, it says he's engaged in the game and, sticking up for one of his teammates. So, I think it's a really good job. Really good job by him. Like I said, different times through the season, we've responded well in those moments.
Did you have an issue at all with the Wallstrom hit on Matthews?
I mean, it's knee on knee, so it speaks for itself. To me, you look at the penalty that Austin had called on him. That that he threw, and he didn't even throw a hit the last game and got penalized for it because it was deemed unsafe. And he doesn't get that call, so I don't know.
I don't believe my ears. That was just Sheldon Keefe being critical of the officials. This is like the thing I have come on here and said, please. I don't know. I cannot tell you how many times I have had conversations with buds after games of just, take the fine, hammer the officials. And he didn't hammer them, but he was pretty direct in his comments there about the hit he didn't like on Matthews, and he was the only one who didn't like it. Rasmus Sandin didn't either. Saw him stepping up, so we caught a little bit of Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe. The big news to come out of that is exactly what you expected. Gord Stellick, MD here, you had the foresight to tell us that they were not going to know what happened to his knee because there's probably really swollen. You're going to wait for swelling to go down, be reevaluated tomorrow. So, hey, guess what? That'll be a fun night of sleep here in Leafs Nation. You don't win, and you get to worry about the future of Morgan Rielly. That is going to be the biggest thing to come out of this game. Frustration from the overtime loss, absolutely. The Eric Källgren journey continues here, but the biggest piece of news coming out of this game, one way or another, is the health of Morgan Rielly. If he's back in a day or two, you can breathe a sigh of relief. But if he's going to miss any time, it's going to big time alter the look of this Leafs blue line.
Well, that's rose-colored glasses to be back in a day or two. I know what you mean, though. I'm not just...
And I've never been optimistic about anything, so it's weird that I would go there. So.
But again, so it's his knee. He did skate off. It's without being helped off.
Yeah, it was weird. Palmieri seemed to need more help leaving the ice.
But again, we're playing amateur doctors again, because quite often the innocent-looking ones are the ones that are more problematic. So. I forgot Carl Dahlstrom as well. The shoulder injury, my goodness. Jake Muzzin, TJ Brody, Morgan Rielly. And then, ladies and gentlemen, that's your injury list for the Maple Leaf D-Corps. It's pretty extensive.
Yeah, and you're going to need your Victor Metes of the world to step up, likely, and depending on how long Rielly is expected to be out. And again, the team does not know this yet. That'll impact whether they got to make a move outside of just calling up a Victor Mete, or if they got to get involved in the trade market there. Just quickly thinking about this. Morgan Rielly's injury doesn't help anyone, but right away, the first domino to fall that I think of is Rasmus Sandin is automatically on your power play one. This has been, if you're trying to find a positive out of it, and there are no positives to Morgan Rielly not playing for this hockey team, but I think that's something where Sandin is a guy who's really kind of struggled to find his footing, specifically this season. He has the fight tonight. I'm not going to read too much into it, but I do think that helps him just kind of galvanize himself a little bit more. Now, if there's a world where he's going to have to be part of your top power play unit going forward, it's a little more responsibility for a guy that, quite frankly, I think the team has been waiting for him to demand that with his play.
Yeah, no, and I'm just saying they listed Morgan Rielly.
Yeah, upper body. It could just be a typo. I'm not.
Anyway, we're going to stay on top of it, but in the case of, and that's why it's interesting. Rielly had got hurt before the fight, right? Yes. So that was kind of like you need all your hands on deck. And as far as defensemen go, but Rasmus Sandin's willingness for his first fight ever.
You like it? He did pick well. No shots to Wallstrom, but I wouldn't be. Let me put it this way: I don't know this. Wouldn't be shocked if that was his first NHL.
Yeah,
fight.
It wasn't Cal Clutterbuck or Matt Martin.
No, it wasn't
in that vein. But
little update from our man Armin. You just mentioned Cal Clutterbuck there. Now, this is the most grain of salt statistic of all time, okay? But Cal Clutterbuck tonight apparently became the all-time leader in hits in the NHL. Now, we have talked about home cooking with the hit statistic forever, but hey, good on him. When I think of guys who lay a lot of hits, he's definitely there. I don't know that he's laid the most in NHL history, but hey, good on him there. And like you said, for a team that's constantly searching for an identity for their fourth line, they saw a team that has identity tenfold with their fourth line there.
And Matt Martin's the next one in that.
That's right.
Currently. And then the third is Alexander Ovechkin,
which is amazing.
Which is amazing. Like, I mean, about current players, like over the last 10 years or whatever it may be. There's guys with more hits from yesteryear, but anyway, it just shows the kind of style that Ovi plays. But to get back about your Rasmus Sandin question, it's kind of like I use that analogy being the deep end of the pool, and he's really in the deep end of the pool. Well, you hope. Like, I mean, if he can't, you try somebody else. But but it's like and it's funny. So I use Columbus as an example because Columbus doesn't seem like a great team, going through the injury bug. Boston started the year, no Charlie McAvoy, no Brad Marchand, no problem. Yep. But Ottawa, which the Leafs aren't, but I feel bad for Ottawa because that's been a big part of their nosedive. Yeah. Been injuries, but
it feels like Thomas Chabot's always hurt. It feels like every year just there's these like 15 games that just disappear from his season.
So to me, always the good teams, the great teams win with injuries, but then there is the line that say the Vegas Golden Knights crossed last year that you had a legitimate excuse, right? And the Leafs are almost kind of getting there on the D side. In some degree about those kind of numbers. So
they are, and I love your deep end of the pool analogy. The only problem with it for the Leafs perspective is that TJ Brodie's like the water wings you put on your kid before you throw them in. They're not going to do everything, but they can help a little bit. So if you got to elevate somebody, they're not going to have the security blanket that is TJ Brodie. This is brought to you by Molson Canadian. Pretty simple for us tonight. Third star of the night, Austin Matthews. He gets the one power play goal. His gravity sets up the other one for Tavares there. Marner, second star. He gets a point on the extending his point streak there, but he was just incredible tonight. The way he sees the ice was on full display, but we've got to give the first star of the night to, in my opinion, the best player, and that was Ilya Sorokin. He came as advertised. He came in here with his .925 save percentage. He also came in here after giving up 5 goals in his last outing, clearly annoyed by that, and he performed like it tonight. All three of those players had strong games, but Sorokin is a guy who you came in here expecting to be impressed by, and I know I definitely was.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a difference maker tonight as opposed to Källgren being good enough. And then James Reimer's line he didn't like from Mike Babcock. I was thinking about that years ago. And then there's others, there's guys like Noah Dobson scores a goal, 6 goals he scored, and it was pointed out that Leafs D together have 5 goals combined. So, you want to get some offense from one of the D. Morgan Riley.
Oh, how close! I was going to say if he had no
candidate for that,
if he didn't have no luck, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. He gets hurt in the game, and there's never been a goal that was closer to being a goal that didn't go in. That sat on the top of the net, bounced off Sorokin's shoulder, back over. It was just the pinball wizards not going in Morgan Riley's favor there. And again, the big news coming out of this one is the health of Morgan Riley. We are waiting and seeing, just like the team is. They'll let the swelling go down, take some pictures tomorrow, and then hope and see. And that's exactly what we are all doing here. Brent Gunning, Gord Stellick with you, perched above center ice at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs falling in overtime to the Islanders. 3-2 is the final. We will continue here with Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ever find yourself in a situation where you really want to pick something but can't? Mega wedgie? Peeling sunburn? Pesky little nose goblins? The worst! But at Kudo, picking isn't shamed. In fact, it's highly encouraged. With our new Pick Your Perk plans, you get to personalize your phone plan with the free feature that makes you happy. Now, who wouldn't pick that? So pick away, picky people. Pick away.
In life, there are those who do and those who do more. Just like F-150. Doing more is part of our DNA. It's why F-Series has been Canada's best-selling line of trucks for 56 years. We don't raise the bar. We are the bar. Right now, get 1.49% APR purchase financing for 72 months on select new 2022 F-150 models. Your Toronto area Ford stores have them available now, but they won't last. Get your 2022 F-150 today. Visit your nearby Ford store or Ford.ca for details.
Cold weather keeping you indoors? Maybe you're not as active as you'd like to be? Let Healthy Planet get you back on track. Healthy Planet is your essential source for high-quality vitamins, sports nutrition, and more. Now through December 7th, save on tons of items including 30% off Stash All Teas 18 tea bags and 20% off Organica Collagen All Kinds. Healthy Planet, serving you safely in-store, curbside, and online at healthyplanetcanada.com. Live life healthy.
Amazon's got the best deals on Black Friday. Oh, the best deals are on Cyber Monday. Friday comes first when it comes to saving. Monday's worth the wait for what you've been craving. Deals so good it'll feel like stealing. Real cool message, could you make it less appealing? What's with the beef? You can get that too. Why don't you call us? What's triggering you? Whichever day you're shopping on, you'll save a bunch at Amazon. On Black Friday, Cyber Monday too.
Blue and white at night. This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthews digs it out. Matthews in along the boards, back to the point it'll come. Liljegren at the right point. Got a shot blocked, then sent it in and scores! Deflected in front of the goal. And is that Boston Matthews? It is. Who gets his stick on it and gives the Leafs a 2-1 lead.
Great hands by Matthews on the tip. Great awareness by Timothy Liljegren to kind of wait for the perfect moment to flutter that wrister on goal, and that's what led to a Leafs lead at one point in time. Remember that? Remember how fun that was? Unfortunately, not the final score. 3-2 is the final for the Islanders in overtime. Gordo would like to always take a look at the NHL scoreboard. NHL scoreboard is brought to you by Bet365. Download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Busy night tonight. 10 games.
Yeah, 10 games going on total. I do want to respond to my friend Dean who texted me. Okay. And no, Dean, the Leafs do not get a bonus for giving the puck away in overtime. Okay, he's a frustrated. Okay, just I can verify that. Okay,
Dean
to his
in
question.
Toronto texting
to his
into
question.
the bat phone.
Yes. Atlantic Division tilt. The Boston Bruins keep on humming, right? 5-3 win in Tampa Bay. And the New Jersey Devils also a 5-2 win over the Edmonton Oilers. You mentioned earlier, poor old Jack Campbell sitting on the bench and took a puck to the face. So you saw the E-Bug goalie getting his name on the back of the sweater. So Jack Campbell was out. The Calgary Flames, they're back on the right track, a 5-2 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. You know, the Carolina Hurricanes came back late. Okay, here's they did what the Islanders came back late in Winnipeg to tie it, but then the Jets got control, won an OT. That's what we're hoping the Leafs would do tonight. St. Louis, boy, are they ever back on track. A 3-1 win tonight over the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know if there's this shootout over. It got Arizona, Nashville still in a shootout, 3-3 in the shootout now, and Colorado leads Dallas 2-1 in the third period of play. Two of the heavyweights going at it.
There you go. In that Boston game that you mentioned, Patrice Bergeron getting .1000 in his NHL career. Of course, all of them coming with the Bruins. Fourth Bruin to reach that mark with said franchise. The whole team comes onto the ice to celebrate him. You know, it takes a lot to make me say a nice thing about a Boston Bruin, but if anybody deserves it, it is Patrice Bergeron. He has been a stalwart in this game for so long, and I can't believe it. I'm going to say it, but yeah, happy to see him get that moment, especially because the Leafs weren't involved at all.
Yeah, I'll go with you that. Got to respect what Boston. You know, the fear is if you're a Leaf fan again, everyone's the playoffs again, and there's no good playoff memories. Steve Simmons was just talking about the Toronto Argonauts have won 5 Grey Cups. I think it's 5 since the Leafs last won a playoff round. To put things in context, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of things you can throw out there, but and of course the Raptors winning a championship, which was great, which was wonderful, but who would have thought that would be first before just say the Leafs have a serious playoff run again, which anyway, that's for down the road. Nights like tonight make you feel good about it for 57.5 minutes, and then worrisome the last 2.5 plus OT.
Yeah, it certainly is, and hey, credit to the Leafs. They brought the Argos in, including the Grey Cup in the building. That was a fun moment there. So yes, you always want good omens in your city, and the Argos winning the Grey Cup is as good a one as you can find, especially from a CFL perspective. That is Gord Stellick. I'm Brent Gunning. We will put a little bow on this, get you set for what's coming up next for the Leafs. It's Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
When they go low, we go low. I'm Mark Mandelson, and it's Black Friday at Bay Bluer Radio. Our lowest prices of the year on top-rated Sony OLED TVs. iPhone.
There's only one Bay Bluer Radio. The right sound for the right price.
Sleeves up. It's time for your annual flu shot at Shoppers Drug Mart. Book today at shoppersdrugmart.ca/flu or through the PC Health app. Over 1,100 pharmacies across Canada. Subject to vaccine availability, limitations apply.
Add some rhythm to your mornings with the McDonald's Egg BLT McMuffin or the Chicken BLT McMuffin. Available until 11 a.m. for a limited time. With the BLT McMuffin sandwiches, it's easy to start your day off right at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
When it's time to get to work, I mean really get to work, then it's time for Work and Wear. Since 1975, we've been offering the largest selection of safety clothing and footwear that you've ever seen. Our lineup is always stocked with brands like Carhartt, Tough Duck, Blocklauder, Terra, Timberland, and Bluntstone, just to name a few. Get it now at workandwear.ca or visit our stores in Markham, Scarborough, and in Whitby.
We have big news at Honda for your ears only. Tina, drumroll please.
You bet.
Introducing the all-new CR-V Hybrid from Honda. What's happening?
It's a hybrid. It hardly makes a sound.
We'll improvise then. We're live. Vroom, vroom. Well, there it is. Our most powerful and fuel-efficient CR-V ever. Introducing the all-new and all-quiet CR-V Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer to reserve yours.
Honk, honk.
Breaking down what's up.
What's up?
This is Leafs Nation postgame on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Here's Brock Nelson in on the wing. A shot, they score! Anthony Beauvillier. The Maple Leafs' problems in overtime continue.
Yeah, the Leafs certainly have their overtime woes, but coming off a 3-2 overtime loss to the Islanders, the biggest piece of consternation in Leafland is the health of Morgan Rielly. That'll be the biggest piece to business to take out of this one way or another. Again, if it's a somewhat limited absence, I feel like you dodged a bullet there, and if he's out for a while, I think we're all going to realize how important he is. Just a quote from Sheldon Keefe here: Morgan is so important to our team and to our back end in particular, but we lose Muzzin. We made a big deal of it. It wasn't a big deal. Brody made a big deal of it. It wasn't a big deal. Just got to keep playing because that's the way it goes. And Bill Belichick, next man up type thing. What else is he supposed to say? You're not going to sit here and go, well, we're done. We lost three of our four best defensemen to start the year. But that's the attitude you have to have coming out of this. But it's hard to put a happy face on it for sure.
Yeah, no, and the other thing, again, we talk about so many positives, how they played, but again, because this is what's killed them in the playoffs, about unbelievable ways to lose playoff games that have cost them series, usually a deciding game type thing. Yep. So again, too many of them, 5 consecutive overtime losses and what have you to get that together, that would be the one constructive thing. There is no panic, there's whatever. I mean, it's there.